Right. I don't know why, but the the avatar seems to be frozen in place. What? Okay. Okay. Mm, excuse me. Is that a bug? Oh my god. Was a bug, wasn't it? It is testing time. My avatar is frozen for some reason. So I need to add Diablo again. Okay, we're gonna add. I don't know why it didn't. Why it couldn't just remember. Just seconds ago it told me that. Just seconds ago it told me that my graphics card wasn't good enough to run the game. But I guess. Yeah, time to troubleshoot. I guess that was like a mistake. It's gonna work? It works. Okay. You know, ever since I've shown myself on camera, my avatar is frozen. I need to fix that somehow. Got two options: fix the avatar somehow, or I don't know, show myself again. But that's for special occasion when there's like tons of people or something. I don't know. I don't know. What logo? 'Cause it was too dark. Okay, we're just gonna play with the default. There, the mouth is moving. Alright. I'm hoping. Oh, yeah, I have to. What am I doing? First of all, why am I such a silly ducky? Okay, there are a few things that I absolutely must do. Okay, I did add the description, but I must actually let people know that something's happening, right? For people to come. That makes sense, right? That makes sense for me to do, right? To let people know that I'm actually live. Where's the Present Sunday channel? Here you go. Come on. True. Present Sunday Orbiters. Because I've already proven that I'm a top tier orbiter. Now on the giggle corn. Send now. Publish. Let's go. Confirm. I have to confirm so many times to be able to send a thing to everyone. Isn't that silly?
Get us through that door.
Who is this?
Oh, light help me.
I wonder if this is...
By three they come. By three thy way opens.
Wait. What's happening now? Okay. We've seen this cutscene. Create a new character, which will be deleted, by the way. Just saying. I see. It's okay, it was the intro. And there's a lot on. The window was here before. They moved the window from here, from left to right. That's one difference that I've already caught. That's interesting. Um... Maybe this one. It is. I've been playing hardcore since the beta. You know? I've been playing hardcore the whole beta. So yeah, hardcore is already a thing. There you go. See? Hardcore. We're gonna play hardcore because this character's gonna be deleted anyway. Plus, we are used to it. Yeah. Wait. Guess I'm just gonna be Lucy. Start game. You don't need guidance. You've played this so many times now. Okay, it cannot be revived. There you go. Oh, okay. Grim Dawn. I see.
Sanctuary was never meant for humankind.
Human beings.
It was forged.
Wait.
War between the high heaven. Instead.
I mean, it was meant for human beings because human beings were the Nephilim. They were the combination of angels and demons, and they were like
But now
overpowered
this
and
once
stuff.
powerful order is a husk of what it was. And Sanctuary's ancient creators have returned to claim the hearts of humankind.
True. I'm
This
here.
is the story of their downfall.
Humankind's or the creators. Where are the viewers? Look, it's a horse. It's a Vosh game. Do you know that this game can be played with a controller? Did you know? Horse run away. Grunt. Grunt. These people are not excited for Diablo 4. They don't wanna come to watch it. Watch it. Watch it. And by watch it, I mean watch the stream. Oh, wait. I might as well, right? Move the chat. What a silly horse. I like the controller. I'm a big fan, especially since it's really well made for this game. The control scheme. Graphics in this game are pretty nice. Do I start with 2 rings? Or why? Or is this just aesthetics? Do I actually start with 2 rings equipped? Okay, let's try it. gosh.
I should find better shelter before I freeze.
True. I don't have any rings, it was just aesthetics. Or they stole my... Or they stole my thing when I... They stole my rings when I slept. Oh, you don't have really good aim. Oh my gosh, that didn't level me up. Wait, hold on. In the beta, that would level you up. Uh-oh. Or would it? I'm not sure anymore. I'm used to being able to get a skill like right away because of the many cinematic are so good now. I feel like just watching them fulfills my gaming itch sometimes. True. That is true, but we're here to stress test the server. Oh my gosh. What's happening? I feel that it was different in the beta. I don't remember having this primary skill so long. I should be leveling up now.
Abandoned town.
Demons everywhere. Signs in the dark. He bit me!
I beat you.
Careful! He's a wild one.
What's it to you?
Oswin, hush! I'm sorry, Wanderer.
Too late.
You've come at a difficult
I hate you
time.
now.
This madman just stumbled into town and started causing trouble.
Too late.
Demons spilling from the ruins. Kill us all! Kill us all!
Ruins? What is he talking about?
Come, I'll explain.
Will you? Will you poison me? I
There
mean,
is evil staring in the ruins to the north.
we all know you're gonna
That
poison
poor
me.
monk back there must have gone inside.
You're
Even
gonna
a holy
poison
man
me,
like
aren't
him
you?
was driven mad by whatever he saw.
Not while I'm in town.
Could you protect us from whatever is out there?
Yeah.
We have nowhere else to turn.
From you.
There is evil lurking in those
Evil,
ruins.
there's evil.
I will drag it into the light of day.
Truly? Oh, thank you.
Did I level up? Okay, now we can... Okay, I guess I'm gonna take this. Let's go.
I'm not ready yet.
I wish they had a kick on a mission when breaking games, but that's a small thing, I guess. It would have been nice, wouldn't it?
blocked. Should clear up when the storm has passed.
I took a potion. You don't really have those healing balls like in Diablo 3. Instead, you've got potion charges. Hello, Lenitas. As you can see, today, I'm not on camera
I
anymore.
need time to prepare that.
We need to like reach a huge audience for me to be on the screen, you know? Does that make sense? I think it makes perfect sense. Oh. I think it makes more sense than anything else in the universe. Wonder if the drop rate is just like in the beta or is it normal now? You know? But I hope you've enjoyed the stream during which I've been on camera. Oh! Recipe, elixir of death evasion. Bring to an alchemist to teach them to craft the elixir of death evasion. That was not in the beta. Learn this item and unlock a new recipe that can be crafted at the alchemist. That was not in the beta. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. That's new. That is new. Also, I think the music was not here in the beta. Death evasion, huh? That's new. Expected things to be like identical, but I guess not. I guess they've changed some things. Okay. Now we can... Okay, no. The burn is pretty strong. Abilities. Alright. Getting it. We're getting...
I need time to prepare that.
I mean, that's true, but... You know... Now we are playing with fire. No, there's a boss at the end of this.
I need time to prepare that. Demons.
Demons. What do you think? Same as before?
I need time to prepare that.
The dash actually can destroy chests and such. Here we go, we should be doing really well.
I'm not ready yet.
There's so many gloves. Oh. Because now we are veterans of this part of the game. Ah, okay. I thought you meant the game.
I need time to prepare that.
But it's good that you're in a better place. I'm getting to a better place as well. I'm getting to a better place as well indeed. That is strong. That is good. Hold on. Need to check something real quick. A quick check.
I'm not ready yet.
Level up. Yeah. Getting to a better place in many ways. There's a bit more to go, but you know. We all get there step by step. We all get there step by step. Oh. Ability. Okay, so where's the map? Here's the map. Level 4, true. And there we have it. I think the layout is probably identical to the beta. I have to... Oh! That was a skip. What is this? That's a new thing. Right, let's go.
I'm not ready yet.
Were those here in the beta? Trying to remember. I remember there being revivers here.
I need time to prepare that.
The reviver was indeed here.
I'm not ready yet.
That was the second reviver. This place. Level 20 is once again max level. Is once again the max level.
I need time to prepare that.
No revivers. Oh. Done that. Whew. Still haven't gotten my refund. Blizzard is not fast with those refunds. Oh. Since I'm joining Xander Hall's guild in World of Warcraft, I bought a subscription. But I bought a subscription for the wrong region. So I refunded it to buy the correct one. They have not refunded me yet.
I need time to prepare
Hey, no level up, interestingly enough. Weak. Staff +7, +18. So it gives me +11. True. They are slow. That is unfortunate. I'm gonna wait. I'm patient. I'm patient like a patient, you know? I've built my patience in the fires of Patience,ville. Coming here.
You've returned.
What a surprise, right? You didn't expect
the
me
old
back.
ruins are clear. Your town should be safe now.
Didn't expect me
Truly.
back. Truly.
By the light, you are heaven sent. Oh, I'm so
Truly.
sorry. We haven't
Eastern
any
European
coin to
coded
offer,
woman. Truly.
But we have hot stew, good company, and
Stay for a pint.
wash out the taste of the stew. We'd be honored if you'd join us.
For the poisoning.
To our savior.
Patience,ville is okay. For now. It's okay for now. Oh no, what happened? Uh-oh. I guess we got poisoned again. Yoink. You spilled the drink. You must be killed. The sentence for spilling the drink is death. Blood chips. How do I keep falling for this? How do I keep getting poisoned? How do I just keep falling for this? Well, that's disgusting. That's pretty rude. Oh my gosh.
By mother's blood, by mother's body, so shall you witness her glory. before you die. Not ready yet.
They're coming! The whole damned village! Get up! Get up! We have to fight our way out! There! Take them! May the light preserve us. All of you!
Oh my gosh. Solid humming, huh?
I'm not ready yet.
Let's see. Okay. Sorcerer, that's right. Reminds me of being chained to a red deer and having gacha cultures first. Like, I have this person on Twitter that argues with me that if you that an atheist Jewish person is not a Jewish person. Twitter brain rot is real. My gosh. I mean, that is true. That weird beard guy's name is DJ Mule.
That was all of them.
The weird beard guy has a name. It's DJ Mule. Welcome. Hello. Hell Harmony. The weirdness of the beard is real. You're the madman from the shed.
Madman. Those heretics drugged me after I returned
True.
from the ruins. Just like you.
You're annoying.
I came to my
witness.
wits and escaped. Tried to get inside the chapel, but it was locked and...
Oh no.
What manner of evil is this? Petals? Of blood?
They must have fed them to me.
A blasphemous ritual. How did they learn this? Perhaps the answer lies in the chapel. They kept it locked up for a reason. The key might be on that woman who was leading them.
titles, like the ones I was fed. Is this
The common
real?
knowledge that Jewish refers to both an ethnic group and a religious group. It has never caused any kind of friction.
Only fire can cleanse the darkness
Actually,
in this
it is
place.
said that the transformation to it being also an ethnic group began in the Commonwealth. Like ridiculous, you know? Hello, Jess. I'm having ridiculous arguments today about everything, about Vosh, about being Jewish. That's right. About Vosh and about being Jewish.
Shameful. Our Father has granted you
Look,
a
it's the
path
man.
to
He's back.
salvation.
He's angry again.
And yet you stray from it.
I'm sorry.
At every opportunity.
I didn't mean to stray.
You drink
I don't
gamble.
drink, actually. I don't
You
gamble
covet.
either.
and steal. Shameful.
Vosh is not bad. Vosh helped me a lot, okay? A lot. I'm gonna tell you something funny after the
Sin is their birthright.
cutscene that we really like. Okay? I'm gonna tell you something really
My
funny.
children.
Well, it's actually not that funny, but
The lords of hell are coming to devour our world. Salvation lies not in the light, but in you. The faith has taught you to deny your heart's desire and turned you into a prisoner within yourself. Break the chains and discover who you were meant to be. Break the chains and be beautiful in sin.
Resist! Resist her temptation! Vani, it's me. I brought your child into this world. They have awakened, Mother.
The first of many. Go to the dry steps and continue your
Nice.
preparations. Now, our true work begins.
You came to thank the light.
okay. Another day, another argument. Have you say how he acts like a buddies? I'm happy when mommy shows up. True. Being of Christian atheist, I don't think I will. Oh my gosh. Okay. Speaking of which, okay, I'm gonna tell you the thing now. But before I tell you the thing, tell me, how did you like yesterday's stream? What did you think? What did you think of the stream yesterday? Now that the dust has settled and you can, with called thing, you can tell me your, you know, you can tell me your thing.
You
can tell me
collapsed
your-
inside. I thought the darkness had swallowed you.
You know,
I dragged you here and put this cursed place to the torch. What happened to you
why
in there?
thank you.
I
know.
saw a vision. A horned demon. She said the lords of hell are coming.
Decided that
She
when
wanted to help the people survive.
Help them.
She called them her children.
have decided that when
they
I
welcomed
get
her
big
like-
audiences, I will
A mother.
show my face, okay?
Mother.
Mother Quacker.
No. It cannot be.
And yet it is.
I must report to the cathedral.
Listen.
Too
there
bad
is a
stay
hermit
mad.
to the northeast.
It's true.
A man of questionable loyalty, but he knows of the forbidden. He might be useful to us.
6 people. We're growing.
Bring him to the cathedral in Kiovashad,
Never.
and you will be in the light's favor.
I don't care about being in the light's favor. Hey, I gotta tell you something interesting, okay? Are you ready to hear something interesting? My mom, it seems like my mom is much better now. Do you know how I can tell?
Not while I'm in town.
I think it's Deckard Cain too, yeah. Although it's more of like a... Okay. It's more of like a badass Deckard Cain that can fight and stuff. Because Deckard Cain could not fight. Okay. My mom is doing much better because she is right now in her bragging mode. You know? She entered the
I need
bragging
time
stage.
to prepare that.
'Cause she told me that there were people that had surgeries of the same thing at about the same time as she has, and some of them still use crutches,
I'm not ready
and she
yet.
doesn't need to anymore. I guess bragging mode means that mom's doing. Deck Nerd's pain, yeah. Although it seems like mom's also working as motivation for people that do rehab, you know? Because there are people that are not doing very well because it's the start. And my mom basically tells them, when I first came here, I was
I'm not ready yet.
I was basically identical like you know? And they're like pretty glad that there's, that they sort of see what rehab sort of leads to, you know?
I need time to prepare
Sort of
that.
gives motivation to do the rehab when mom tells them that she was basically in the same boat when she first went to the rehab. I remember that she couldn't walk at all. She needed either like a, she needed a wheelchair. She didn't even like use crutches. She just used the wheelchair, and she couldn't go to the toilet alone. And now, it's totally different. And it's all thanks to the fact that she got the rehab right away. You know?
I need time to prepare that.
My mom is in a room with a lady that has a knee problem. And that lady keeps telling mom, you can walk, child. Just bring me this, bring me that child, bring me this child. And my mom's like to me, I'm probably older than her. She keeps calling me child. You know? Which is interesting. Wait, the chat went so quiet. Nobody's... Are there people in the chat still? Oh, we're getting this.
I need time to prepare that.
There we go. Killed an animal. That was a mistake. I did not do it on purpose. Oh, okay.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, what have you not seen before? We're gonna go to the guy.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm sort of ready. I think so. I think this is like the lightning effect of this game.
I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. I like burning spiders. It's like a hobby of mine. I suppose. Like the ice spiders. I don't remember this music being here in the beta. You know, this singing. If you remember it being here before, then tell me. So many things. You actually share these ingredients between characters. What is going? Okay, let's get inside the house.
Is anyone here?
Nobody's in.
What are you hiding back here?
Short fangs. Young. Freshly turned. An easy kill. Further south than the others. They're spreading.
It's a demon. If you're stress testing, how stressed are you? Super stressed. Stressed non-stop. Super stressed. It's okay, you're here.
If you're going to trespass into my home, rifle through my things, then at least have the decency to join me for supper. I'm bloody hungry.
That's quite the story.
I wish it wasn't true.
It's
But it
true.
is.
Sushi! I wish I could eat some sushi.
Why did I have that vision?
Thank those friendly villagers. They gave you the blood of Lilith.
This person was a noob in
The blood
Diablo
of a demon.
3.
Not just any demon.
You know, he was
The
a
daughter
noob.
of hatred.
A
The
wide-eyed
mother
noob.
of sanctuary. She was banished ages ago.
True.
But this world is her creation. It was prophesied she would come back.
What does she want?
That's the question. Sanctuary has always been trapped amid the eternal conflict. A war between angels and demons. But Lilith serves neither side. She has her own plans for us.
And me? Am I corrupted?
Not sure yet. But you two share a connection. What will you do about it?
Use it. Find out what she's after.
Good. Then we're in this together. Rest while you can. Then we'll start in Kiovashad. If we can't stop Lilith, we'll all be damned.
Alright. This is a returning character, yeah. And he's in the party now. Yeah, we actually didn't hug today, but I'm gonna go visit Mom tomorrow as well, so there will be chances. Let me see. Turn to manual of healing burning enemy. Critical strike with fireball increases the burning damage dealt to enemy both to increase and for seconds. Why not? Let's go. That's a good voice.
Whoa. This close to the city. Lilith's evil is spreading.
See? But yeah, this is a character from Diablo 3. I didn't recognize him at first, but he was one of the newbie Haradrim from that the ex-Angel created. You know? Yeah. I'm gonna be, of course, playing Diablo 4 on release. So look forward to that.
I'm not ready yet.
You know it's gonna be out next month, right? It's gonna be super out next month. Maybe Diablo 4 is just not enough on its own. Maybe I have to... Maybe I need to...
I'm out of mana.
Maybe I need to bash someone while playing the game. You've seen worse in the Reaper of Souls. What do you mean? Live to see this. You've seen worse in your lifetime.
The angel in Arius. I'm sure you've heard the Cathedral of Light babbling about their Holy Father.
That is true.
He's real. An angel walks among us. And when he learns that Lilith is here, blood will flow. They are ancient enemies. They'll drag the whole damn world into their
partners
feud,
also.
unless we can stop it. Let's not linger. Kiovashad lies just ahead.
Paul, to enter the city, you must
We
first...
have no time for this. To enter Kiovashad, you must perform a cleansing ritual. Meaningless gesture, but some people take comfort in it.
How dare you?
Just
dare
let him
you.
through, lad. I've tried for years to get Lorath to do the ritual.
Fine.
Oh no.
But this one stays.
This is
I'll
not
make
gonna
you
be a
so.
long stream, I guess, because not many
Take
people
a
are
piece
watching
of
today.
holy cedar wood from the shrine and inscribe it with the sin which troubles
Pride.
you.
Pride.
You know, like the one from Full Metal Alchemist. The best pride.
Good. You must feel as though a great weight has been lifted from you. Welcome to Kiovashad.
Let's go to
So,
the horseman.
What did you write on a little piece of wood? I'm
Me,
off to the
that's-
dry steps in search of that pale man from your vision.
What about the pride from
I
the
must
Lion
know.
King? That one doesn't count.
What part he plays in all this.
Also,
But first, I need you to retrieve something of
maybe
mine while I finish
Lorath
my
is
negotiations.
Vosh in
A
reality.
merchant in the center
Look,
of the city has it.
he's such an
Just tell him
expert
I
on
sent you.
horses. Maybe that's where you remember the voice from. Look.
Cracked hooves, sway back.
See?
Cloudy eyes.
Vosh is praising
This
the
book thing is
horse.
practically crowbait.
With what you're paying, you're lucky she has 4 legs.
Oh no. See, maybe that's where you remember the voice from. Maybe it's Vosh. It's simply Vosh. Have you considered that?
Ah, so the old man's finally decided to buy it back.
True.
Knowing him, he didn't mention coin.
What if
did
I
he?
didn't have enough money?
If he wants his
Very
weapon,
funny.
you will need to pay.
Very funny.
Wait. The old man sold me this too. He said he didn't need it anymore, but
Okay.
I think he'd want it back all the same. No charge.
Laura Vosh is a good headcanon. True. Being an expert on horses. I'm gonna go to the... Oh wait, I have to get the item. Okay, let's go to the alchemist. I've got a new recipe that I've discovered on this playthrough. Fortunately, Vosh is about to leave us. Wait. How do I get this? Elixir of Death Evasion. So how do I make this? Is this not an alchemist? It is. What's up? Where's my elixir of avoiding death? Whatever. How to buy a horse, but the prices heirloom is thrown in for free? Okay, bye. Well, you actually have to buy the weapon of this person.
I cannot do that here.
It's actually just a symbol of the Haradrim.
Apologies.
That's okay, Vosh. We can debate
You also
about it.
gave me this amulet. What is it?
It's a debate
Mark of the Haradrim.
medal. Mark of the debater.
An ancient order of scholars and mages.
An
Sworn
ancient
to
order
protect
of
Sanctuary from
debaters.
demons. These days, we are few in number.
True. These
There
days,
is
not many
another
debates.
Donan. His breadth of knowledge about demons is equal only to his hubris.
Sounds like he could help us.
You should seek him out in Skosglen.
True. Do it.
But don't forget about the cathedral. They'll be expecting you, and they might prove
Do
to be
it.
useful allies too.
You're not coming with me?
I'm going to the dry
Got
steppes
my own
to find out who
debates.
that pale
Do.
man is.
Do.
Join me when you can, just be careful. Your ties to Lilith, the visions you see.
Well,
you are the key to finding her.
we
and
still
stopping
need to
whatever
get
she has
used to
planned.
Vosh, you know? He's not gonna do it in the first chapter. PG just threw those slurs willy-nilly, it
Sometimes
would not be
Our paths in life are
utilized
set to
for good.
collide. We just don't
You know?
know it.
It wouldn't be tactical much if
Whether
you just
it is
threw
by
them
accident or
willy-nilly.
fate's hand, there is nothing we can do about it. The wanderer lost in the storm, fed the blood of Lilith, saved by a lone monk. Different lives and incidents drawn together. By what? Destiny?
Oh no! Destiny.
some greater power.
Destiny is in this as well? My god. Even Destiny is a part of this.
But at the time, I thought I had the chance to protect humanity from the daughter of hatred. The Wanderer's connection to her gave me hope.
Destiny.
Imagine that.
True. Vosh is full of hope. Oh, thank you for telling me this again. Find your purchases. That was not a thing in the beta. I was not in the beta either. Wow. Can I get a horse?
Keep your beast here. Keep it fed. May your road be calm.
I'm not ready yet.
Yes, we're just gonna do the side content now and go for a debate. Is there a debate that I should know about? Remember, it's a game that will be for sale. True. I mean, it is already for sale. You can pre-purchase it.
I'll be here soon.
Hey, buy this game. Buy this game. Come on, buy this game. I've already bought this game. This is how I was able to get the beta.
Yes, well, Bozan has yet to return from delivering our tithing demands to Menestad. Perhaps you could sweep the roads and see what's taking him so long.
Sweep the roads?
The cathedral must receive its dues.
Beta. True. True. Actually true. Oh, they added explanation. Well, that's nice that they added these explanations. There are no good debates right now.
I need time to prepare that.
See,
I
we're
cannot
back to
do that
Diablo
here.
4. We're back to Diablo 4. Got a feeling we're gonna be spending some time with Diablo 4. Though we're gonna be careful not to neglect other games, you know? To play just one game means to neglect other games, and we cannot allow that to happen. It will be unacceptable, you know?
To prepare that.
Actually, what do you think? Chat. Oh. I got a question for you, chat. What would you rather me do? Play many games or focus on one main game? What do you like more? Playing many different games or focusing on one main game? These explicit.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. If I should focus on one game or play a lot of different games. What do you think is better for Lucy as a streamer to do? That is my question to you.
Indeed I am. My god turned on me, tried to choke the life out of me. All I could do before I lost consciousness was go over the cliff.
Oh no.
I need to return to Kyovashad and request a night escort. Please, take the tithing demands to the merchant lord, Talgun, in Menestad.
I like playing many different games. I don't just focus on one, you know? Because it's like, how do you say? It's good to broaden your experiences, right? It's good to keep your, like...
I need time to prepare that.
To experience a lot of different things. A lot of different things.
I need time.
In my opinion, it's better to play many different games, especially since then I provide a more diverse experience to the viewer, you know? You don't just tune in and expect same old, you know?
I am so very grateful. I will need to make the necessary arrangements.
It is, but...
Please, excuse me.
I mean...
How did this happen? I shouldn't be holding this
I
in my
think you can
hands.
experience more than one thing fairly deeply.
Restraint, my
You know?
lord. Restraint.
Ah, yes.
We are going to
Of
go
course.
pretty deep into Diablo 4.
Carry
We're
on,
gonna go
Misty.
into the end game. But also we are raiding in Final Fantasy 14. So, you know? And also not all games require you to be as hardcore in them, you know? Also, I must find time to read as well.
I need time to prepare that.
The new militia recruits have been training night and day.
Eastern
They
European
deserve
coded
a little
people.
praise, but I can't let them see me as soft.
Softy.
Mind giving them a cheer for me?
No.
Easy
Why,
coin for
why
you,
should I
a
look
boost of
soft?
confidence for the recruits, and I get to go on being the hard ass. Everybody wins.
I will handle it.
True. There's so many good games, you know? Oh, they're different. Look.
Well done.
They didn't practice in the beta, they were just standing around here. So that's changed. They have changed this in the meantime. I do notice those little details. True.
Thanks. I hope they don't get used to it.
True. Don't get used to it, you bastards. Alright, let's go. Let's do some side content. Might go to the toilet as well. Let's go.
I'm not ready yet.
We'll destroy all this stuff. If 2 people did the quests in the beta, they'd still be standing around. True. True. The sad thing is that this character will also be wiped. You know? We might as well do some reacting. Do you have some video, like a debate or a talk or an argument? What is this? Oh, mount. People are getting those mounts early. Or they are paid starter mounts or something.
I need time to prepare that.
True, you do need time to prepare that. Level up. My goodness. Fireball deals 10% of burning damage you've applied to enemies in additional direct damage. Fireball's explosion critical strike damage is increased by 10% each it hits. Okay, that's good. That's actually good.
I'm not ready yet.
Because I do apply burn to enemies a lot, so... You know?
I need time to prepare that. I need time to prepare that. I'm low on precious mana.
Destroy! Uh-oh.
I'm out of mana.
There you go. There you go. Done it. Lands defended Illuminati, so... Oh no. Let me see. Someone's been active in the... Damn, still? Is Lance still defending Illuminati? Is that still a thing?
I need time to prepare that. I need time to prepare that.
Okay. True. I never have problems speaking up for myself. Can't you tell? how hard I speak for myself. Always. Jess, what should I react to while stress testing this game? Oh my god. What? Who did Creepshow something stalk? Who did they stalk?
Time to prepare that.
Who did they stalk? Can you tell me more about that? What happened there? Were they stalking? Jesus. Imagine stalking someone for like a decade. Doesn't the person have anything to do in life? Yeah, but who did they stalk? Is my question. Oh, I don't remember that icon. That's new. Can you link the video that you recommend? I'm gonna go to the toilet.
I need time to prepare that. I lack the needed mana.
Not drama? What is it? If it's not drama, then how should I make it more dramatic?
I lack the needed mana.
Wow. Our adventure would be hardcore. Almost ended right there and now.
I'm not ready yet.
It's sad that it's not really drama, but you know. Not everything has to be drama, I guess. Diablo needs some dramatic things, but let's go. I'm gonna go to the city. And go to the toilet.
I'm not ready yet.
Actually almost forgot to heal. Almost forgot to heal.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh. Okay. We're gonna do this. Gonna go to the toilet and we're gonna do this. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. You know? Be right back. Gonna take my HRT now. All right. I'm taking the pills. I'm not sleeping. What do you mean? Maha, were you here yesterday when I was on camera? When I did the face reveal? Were you here, Maha, for my face reveal? I see you're doing the stress test. I hope you do your best. Let your computer do the rest and did something with a lot of zest. Yeah. Funny you should say that. I've actually got an apple here. I've actually got an apple here to eat. Who's such a liar? Are you saying you don't believe that I did a face reveal yesterday? Oh my god. Moho doesn't believe me that I did a face reveal yesterday. Moho does not believe me.
You can take what's left.
I can. Wait. I can turn myself up a little. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? So yeah. Look at Maha not believing that I did the face reveal yesterday. This stream is up. You can watch it. You can check. You can check. You can watch yesterday's stream and see that I did the reveal.
Don't let the cold bite you too hard.
Oh my god. I cannot believe.
An axe.
Just watch the last
Specifically
stream.
the axe of the woodsman. A man who stalked and butchered travelers in this area.
Butcher!
Rumor has it, the woodsman disappeared recently and left his weapon behind.
Leftist
The priest
weapon?
who hired me didn't offer much more to go on. At this rate, I'll freeze before I find the damn thing. If you help me find the axe, I'll cut you in on the pay. Check the woods around town. I'm staying here where it's safe.
Mm-hmm. Yugi, hello. So I'm doing most of the job. Nice. But I'm supposed to be reacting to something now. I took my estrogen. Okay. Oh. Wait. Hold on. Okay, it's safe. It's safe to eat an apple when doing HRT. Hello. Hello, Sir Vane. As you can see, no camera today because not enough people in the audience, okay? Okay, I need to have like a consistent audience now of 100 people. I have them. And now I'm eating an apple. Do you think I can do it? Do you think I can get the consistent? Let me see. Browser. Here. Okay, ptasie mleczko. True. It was 50 before, now it needs to be 100. I don't know. That's a good question. Actually, I've actually just checked it. And for women, there are actually foods that they should avoid on when they are taking estrogen on menopause or something. That's strange to me. It told me that you can be nauseous while taking estrogen, so it told me to maybe eat some food. I'm making an apple. I don't really feel nauseous from estrogen. We are taking too little. Okay, we're gonna be watching this. I'm an HRT newbie, an HRT baby, so you know. Oh, we have to finish this.
Pay the editors.
We have to finish this still. I forgot that we were here. You know? Okay.
This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN.
Surfshark? Oh no! That's horrible. How could you? Creepshow art. Oh my god. Strap yourselves in, everyone. This is apparently a doozy. I know this YouTuber, The Right Opinion. Are they okay? You're not a creepy reactionary, right? I hope. Please tell me they're not a reactionary. Hmm? Are they? You never know nowadays. Okay, that's good. I had a nightmare about this happening to me, by the way. About someone just walking slowly behind me.
Activated. Clean web.
Surfshark VPN. You too can prevent others from tracking you online, vaporizing those pesky fellas who seek to do you harm.
Oh.
Surfshark VPN helps keep your online identity safe by encrypting all information traveling between your device and the internet.
Maybe I should get a
Surfshark
Surfshark.
the hands of mega corporations or cyber criminals. Surfing the net looking for hot goss is no easy task. Oftentimes I must trudge through the depths of the internet, crawling through hellfire and depravity to find evidence to build my case. And that's just Twitter. With Surfshark's clean web feature, you can block ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts.
Twitter.
Clean web makes my experience online much safer and more pleasant, giving me peace of mind that I'm not going to wake up to a YouTube channel being hacked by someone waiting to post a video that you could watch in a single sitting.
I mean, it's a
If
pretty
that
good
doesn't tickle
ad.
your fancy, then this certainly will. With Surfshark VPN's 3,200 plus servers
Pretty
in
fancy
95
ad.
countries, you can change how websites view your location, allowing you to virtually appear somewhere else. Whether you're on the go or just seeking a change in content, you can access the Netflix catalogs of foreign countries, or even that of your home country whilst you're traveling abroad. When I'm overseas and need a fix of my favorite show, RuPaul's Drag Race UK, I can set my location to England, open BBC iPlayer, and watch as if I was at home. Yes, Queen. Surfshark truly does slay. Using code OPINION, you can get 83% off plus 3 extra months completely free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you aren't risking anything at all by trying it. Just follow the link in the description if you want to find out more. But until then, I think we should get back to the meat of the video.
Now it's just King or something.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Right Opinion, the home of a twat with too much free time. And covering drama, isn't it just the most fun pastime to talk
Oh my
about?
god. I've seen
Well,
this
not
person's
always, but as
videos.
people online have grown more invested in the escapades of creators, coverage is inevitable. At the same time, reporting can take many different forms, and over the years, each audience niche has gradually been filled by their corresponding correspondence. Whether that's to do with breaking the news as it happens with an emphatic tone, or analysing the intricacies of a situation through a more retrospective perspective. What matters to people is that they have a voice relaying to them what's going on in the world, and that
True.
voice is at least somewhat reliable. From there, they can construct their own hot takes to share to social media accounts that permeate their relative platforms. A lot of content is typically very organised, with attention to production value and a clear structure, even if it may not be the most highbrow. However, this sort of content, my sort of content even, can also have its disadvantages. It can feel quite distant to some viewers, and
True.
if that audience can't connect to a creator, then they may not feel an interest in the topic that they're talking about. Sometimes
You're connected to me,
organisation
right?
is unattractive, as much as it pains me to admit. In those cases, viewers may find a solace in a creator with a more casual approach to talking about
Like
drama,
me.
one that reacts to it in an unedited and unrestrained way. The reflects
True.
our innate human reaction to the discovery of revelations about certain shenanigans, and that's the genre where the person at the center of today's video thrived. A person by the name of Creepshow Art.
Oh no.
If there's anyone who's ever confused at what I did, I will explain it to them.
I mean, technically speaking, child logic also falls under that category, right? Just reacting to drama in an unprepared way. YouTube chat, where do you want me to move it? Oh, right. Sure, yeah, I can. On Joe. Near Joe, here.
Because if I fuck up and I say something that is shown to be false, I don't want to hide from that. I want to state it outright. And I want you guys to know, because I wouldn't be able to learn otherwise. You can't hold me accountable
Is
otherwise.
this the creep show,
Creepshow
Pasta?
Art, or Shannon, is or was a creator who specialized in this sort of what was described as a one-person podcast. Basically, she'd sit down, she'd have a topic in her mind, she'd pull out the iPad Pro, the pencil and the program, and get to work. Or promote another artist's work, all while speaking her mind on the freshest drama available. Sometimes this would be trending topics, but it could also lean into storytime aspects.
Oh,
where she would
wow.
talk about her past experiences, or even her own participation in ongoing conflicts.
I had people trying to expose me from it. I had people say they were going to extort money from me. I was getting brands who had worked with and been harassed by Lily Jean in my DMs
Who?
and in my emails, telling me
Who?
their stories, telling me private shit, telling me things that I shouldn't know, telling me that her mother had harassed them for months, was getting people who had simply talked to her in the DMs. Shit was going off. Shit was going bonkers.
I'm sure it's no
I
surprise to
see.
anyone that someone like me didn't really connect with this content, but at the same time, a lot of people did. This idea of a creator just going off with no filters. It provides this impression that
My
she's quote,
God.
real, and that you're hearing how someone
Oh
genuinely
no.
feels rather than a
I
video
hate that,
catered
the
to
whole
viewer
real.
sensibilities. There's also just a lot of appeal to the
Usually
gossip side of
cringe.
Shannon's videos. Plenty of us have had our run-ins with other creators and have
Usually
feelings that we
horrible
will
and
likely never
cringe.
talk about because we consider that sort of thing unprofessional to our brand. However, Shannon seldom showed restraint when telling you the tea about remarks made by other YouTubers or her own unsavory experiences with the worst of what this platform has to offer. It was a much more personal project than the typical drama reporters, and with that came a devoted, albeit opinionated fan base who often had something to say. For many, it was incredibly digestible. It was very easy to put it on the background while you did art, took a shower, or went to sleep. Sometimes you just need a creator where you don't have to care about everything they say, even if they're a bit problematic here and there. Although she launched a channel in 2016, you'd be hard-pressed to find any record of her content before late 2018, when her videos began to garner traction with a wider patronage. As her channel grew, it became apparent that the most successful topics were the ones that typically covered controversial individuals and their antics, ranging from petty art thieves to, well, Onision. Her standing was bolstered by a fairly robust relationship with other creators in the commentary and art community.
I already forgot about Onision. I forgot that Onision was a thing. So many people made their content like fully just by covering Onision. Do you remember that? Do you remember Onision? I wonder what the problem will be. I have no idea. Damn. What could it be? The problem is I lack mana. I'm not sure that's what you're talking about. Oh, golden item. Wait, you used to be a big fan of Onision? Really? Isn't Onision like a creep who judged young girls' looks? What's he doing now? Like he just disappeared from the internet or something. Just disappeared. Oh well, let's continue the video.
Alongside her seemingly professional conduct towards those around her, which is normally half the job when it comes to personal image. She'd regularly speak about her own story as a person who started their channel when they were homeless and had grafted their way to a position of self-sufficiency. It was a very noble rise to the top, and one that many found inspiring. Nevertheless, when you seemingly present such a personal image of yourself online, there is a trust invested that charges you with the responsibility to at least have some morals that are consistent with the values you expound. When Shannon presents herself, people wanted to believe that they were receiving a person who, whether perfect or not, believed in doing the right thing and valued bringing the subjects of her videos to justice that was proportional to their misdeeds.
Thomas, you are not cancelled. Your career isn't over, but you are choosing to act in a way that is morally reprehensible. And unless you acknowledge that this entire thing was a bad move and that you are responsible for this happening, this is going to stick to you. I know you blocked me on Twitter, but I really hope from the bottom of my heart that you do grow from this.
In many ways, she had tied that personal side of her to the philosophy that she advocated for, which made her work online even more sacred to her viewers. That was also entrenched by the slightly slapdash presentation. It wasn't a hard-hitting expose, but it felt like it came from the heart. Shannon was a person who wore that heart on her sleeve, and people felt they could trust her for it.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Throughout the year 2020, a few points of pressure began to be applied, some that she emerged fairly unscathed from, and others that left a bit of a stain, and manifested some skepticism within viewers. However, even with this said, few would have been able to predict the sudden escalation of events in 2021. With a series of very bizarre situations which focused on incognito behavior that seemed to deconstruct everything she stood for, supported by a testimony from a creator that has accumulated over 4 million views.
Oh my god.
What did this behavior entail exactly? Well, some of you probably already know, some of you are likely in the dark. However, I'm sure you're
in the dark.
Curious to know exactly where this started and where this ends, if it does. So join me and a couple friends today as we take a journey through this drama.
Is this person still active?
Won't exceed 2 hours, though I make myself no promises.
I mean, you're watching.
How much of someone can truly be real? How much?
You're watching me right now. You watch my Let's Plays, right?
Fabricated, and how much can we expect from a creator's persona? Well, let's find out. I think it's difficult when you grow as a creator to maintain everything good about your channel, while evolving other aspects that could require improvement. When your content progresses, you'll inevitably have people who pick up on the changes that it undergoes. A lot of the time it's pretty subjective. Some people may not like a creative decision or a new direction, but a lot of people may prefer it, and it comes down to a point of personal taste. In other cases, there may not even be a problem, and people just think that you've changed when in reality you haven't. On the other hand, there may be some valid criticisms, whether they've emerged as a product of your own channel's changes, or they're just continuous flaws that have become more apparent as more people tune in. So let's go to 2020, when Shannon was encountering some pretty impressive growth, covering a variety of unsavory characters who had found themselves embroiled in drama for various reasons. Overall, I think that many people were happy that she was talking about these subjects. However, the focus of
Happy to say that we've been growing lately as well, you know? We've gained like 17 subs or something. You know, that's growth. We're not growing into the millions quite yet, but we are growing. Definitely growing.
uploads had definitely pivoted more towards degeneracy, and that can often
Oh
alter
my
the
gosh.
perspective of your content when you deal with fresh allegations, especially if you've just covered something extremely serious or anything to do with Jeffree Star. She did have some problems relating to her own impulsive behavior that seemed to fall short of some people's standards for reliable content.
I am literally sitting here telling you to your face that the man who provided the semen to make one of the most prophetic and profitable liars on YouTube has a LinkedIn page where he says his current job is that he is God. His job is that he's God. He's just God,
Okay.
which is a completely fine and normal thing to put on a resume. on
I
LinkedIn,
don't
anywhere.
care.
As I've noticed, Group Show Art Style was pretty informal, and that style clearly resonated with a lot of viewers. However, the problem with reacting to drama on a cursory basis is that you're
I don't really care what anyone puts on their LinkedIn, so yeah, we are on the way to 1,000.
with
Absolutely.
information as you perceive it.
It's
rather than
political
a
now.
well-researched,
Oh,
laid-out
Fallout
set of events that
changed.
you
Why
can
is it
document with
political?
clarity.
What
Some
happened?
may argue that it's part of the
What happened to
spontaneous charm that
Fallout?
the content has. But as awareness for your channel rises, idiosyncrasy can only really justify the aspects that one views
Are
as
there women in it or something? What happened? Did they add women to Fallout? They politicize my game.
subjective. And informational vigor did not always seem to be one of them, especially given how she'd often just parrot information that she had found. For example,
So this video is probably going to be a little bit controversial.
True.
I mean, I am talking about something that has yet to be proven beyond a reasonable
Forgivable.
doubt, and people are already stating things like, to even question someone about this is in fact ableist. So me making this video is probably going to get me into a little bit of hot water.
in this fabulous deleted video, after reading
I
an
really
obviously
don't care
very
what
compelling
people have on their
Instagram post, she
LinkedIns.
noticed the rather contentious idea that actress Jamila Jamil has been dishonest about the disabilities she has discussed in her past. What was the evidence for this? Well, supposedly contradictory statements about her health that didn't add up.
From that very weird scenario, she got a load of weird food allergies with that poisoning, and after she healed completely from that, those allergies
I
cleared
see.
up. So if you're following her stating here,
I have loads of food allergies. I was born allergic to shellfish and peanuts.
that she's been allergic to peanuts since she was born was her lying. She was just lying right there because she just wanted to lie, I guess. And the truth is actually more convoluted because it involves mercury
I
poisoning,
see.
and now she can eat peanuts again. It's a lot to take in, but for me, the main
Why
point
is
of
it a
this
lot
is
of
note
to
that
take
despite
in?
her stating that these claims that she has lied about anything, that she's lied about anything she's ever said, and her saying that everyone who has ever said something negative about her is some kind of bullshit artist, kind of, sort of, unravels when you realize that, hey, hi, hello, this explanation only works if you also admit to lying in various interviews a consistent amount of time for no clear reason.
I'm going to be clear about this video. It's not necessarily an endorsement of the allegations. In fact, she outwardly states she does not endorse them. However, it conducts some rather poor deductive reasoning that could lead people to a biased conclusion. Lacks research on fine details like the one in the clip shown above are what highlights this. The tweet that Jamila is responding to here is not with regards to her specific peanut allergy, which she claims to have possessed at birth. They were in reference to a wide range of food allergies she claimed to have experienced at some point in her life. Therefore, although I could understand some uncertainty, they're not directly contradictory. Even the video that Shannon uses as a reference seems to support Jamila in the fact that she had other post-birth allergies. Peanuts just wasn't one of them. I'm not a big Jamila Jamil fan. I don't think there's anything wrong with clearing up confusion surrounding interviews and inconsistencies. I don't think her response was sublime. But it's hard to really be mad at someone for that sort of response when it was provoked by such a slanted post. I believe she has EDS, a disease that has a lot of complications and one that too many people are accused of falsifying. Suggesting she had Munchausen's is pretty damn distasteful, and to tie that to the EDS like some did was not just attacking her but perpetuating a harmful stereotype. Anyone who
True.
finds inconsistencies and immediately rushes to imply that a person is faking it is pushing their luck and assuming too much. And those who propounded this theory were rather quickly forced on the retreats, Creepshow Art included, with the video being promptly unlisted because she can be a
Uh-oh.
little too gun-ho. But a lot of the time, given Shannon's style, it was hard to place blame for any misinformation at her doorstep. Her reaction to evidence was just like anyone else's, even if this means that some of her videos haven't aged that well. Hell, that's a characteristic universal to many creators. However, she had also called out creators for deceiving their audiences, such as Blair White. So it was important that she held herself to the same standard.
I mean, Blair White does deceive her audiences. You know? That part is true. That part is unmistakingly true. My woke nuclear apocalypse. We're gonna play some Fallout at some point. Fallout 4 was good. Fallout favors women because of the Black Widow perk. Fallout is totally woke. True! It is a liberal game and has Liberty Prime. That game is based.
As the year proceeded, however, the red flags only appeared to increase in number. Not just in her research, but in her demeanor.
Now, I want you guys to look at this image. Look at it really hard. Squint your fucking eyes till they bleed looking at this image. And I want you, in your mind brain, to focus on what you think the issue here is. If you stated that you literally cannot tell if this image was made with racist motivations towards Leslie Jones, then you are absolutely right. So the fact that she is drawn in this way and is the only character in this image shown to have fucking lip, it feels purposeful and in a not so great way. It feels like it was done in malice.
First of all, Shannon appeared to be quite flippant. We know she'd occasionally construct her videos off sentiments that may not be substantiated with the proper research you'd expect of a creator, but her attitude seemed to carry much more confidence than the foundations the content was rooted in, whether it was an artist...
You know, maybe there used to be big, you know, unfounded claims then, but I don't know. Claims like this just feel like everyday Twitter now, to be honest. What do you think? To me, it just feels like everyday Twitter now. Claims like this. You know? I swear, it does feel like it. Got it. Got him. I mean...
that drew characters she had deemed racist, even if they'd apologized, or a creator family member's antics.
Jim Bulls over here is a bona fide cult leader. No, I am not saying that to be cute. I'm not saying that to meme or prank you guys. I am literally sitting here telling you to your face that the man who provided the semen to make one of the most prophetic and profitable liars on YouTube has a LinkedIn page where he says his current job is that he is God. His job is that he's God.
In this video posted in March 2020, she calls the missionary evangelist father of beauty creator Jacqueline Hill a cult leader. Now, I'm not fond of evangelists, and in many ways,
I don't know who that is.
The narratives they do purport could be seen as quite demagogic. However, when we think of cults, we tend to have a very vivid image, and to frame someone as being a cult leader is risky wording.
Also, this man is the man who put his hoo-ha into someone else to make Jacqueline. So I guess we know where she learned how to boldface lie online. So much so that she made an entire brand off it. And like him, like, they both made brands off of this.
Jacqueline herself wasn't very amused by this, especially given how she ties it to Jacqueline, even though she hadn't spoken to him in over a decade. Now the video was removed, and that's fair enough, but given the more genetic connection, what's even the point of making a video dishing dirt on a person's father? What is the point?
I want to make it clear throughout
engagement
this video
is the point.
that I was not the first one to make things public. I did not make things public, and they did this.
That's a question that some may begin to ask after watching a video on a person by the name of Karuna Satori. Now, Karuna Satori is an ASMR YouTuber and former anti-vaxxer. She engaged in
oh my god, anti-vaxxer, of course.
Show aunts mocking of people who espouse anti-vax narratives.
We are going to be talking about all of the reasons why she thinks I'm scum, a bully, why I should learn where my place is, and how very soon I'm going to lose everything I made on YouTube. Her words. Oh, and also, she apparently thought I was a teenager, despite me constantly bringing up how I'm married and used to be homeless. Classic teen themes.
Are you saying...
this situation a bit, but all I'll say is that one
comment
from a video over the next couple of weeks manifested into a 35-minute video documenting the situation and labeling Karuna the...
I hate to be nitpicky, but teens can be homeless, you know? Like, being homeless is not a thing that is banned from you until you're 18. You know? This is such a bizarre thing to say in response to someone saying that you're homeless. Or that, no, they didn't say she was homeless. They said that she was a teenager, you know? That's saying that you were homeless is a very weird response to that. Because, I mean, some LGBT teens become homeless because of their bigoted parents. So, I'm not sure where that one's coming from.
Anti-vax defender. And although I don't think the points she makes in the video are entirely unfounded, it's once again a question of why it exists. A question that we'll answer very soon. Karuna was certainly oddly outspoken on certain matters that one would deem trivial. She is a dramatic person. However, Shannon is as well, and whereas many YouTubers would probably dodge the bullet and move on with exposing whoever's next on their problematic list, these minor situations seem to end up with a Creepshow art video. Because she just often couldn't resist, de-escalation was not her forte. I think one of the perks with casual content like Shannon's is that it didn't have to be high-stakes stuff all the time. If I uploaded a video about my latest Twitter spat with some ASMR channel, you'd probably be all quite confused, even if I was right, like I always am, of course.
True.
Nonetheless, even if you do make videos about the most trivial matters, you're still expected to operate by a set of tenets that most commentators follow quite closely. However, when content has less consequences, people pay less attention to when you fuck up. So the examples we've listed today didn't really provoke ire from most viewers, and why would they? A few mistakes here and there, it's not a big deal. But if you keep rolling the dice, you're gonna score a 7, and then you'll be in the crap.
In the what? Uh-oh.
There are a lot of minor problems with Shannon's content that when combined amounted to a more significant problem. The fact that she would regularly be quite incendiary in her commentary, the fact that she wasn't always most scrupulous with her narratives, and the fact that she'd often take it to other social media platforms which rub salt on the wounds of what may be erroneous reporting already. However, these characteristics are not really noticeable on an individual basis. You need a situation that combines all of these traits into one concerning conglomerate. So let's move to May 2020, when a situation appeared to hit a lot closer to Shannon's home.
Days like these, I wake up and I'm excited to spill the tea.
Jake Yonsei is a creator who covers a lot of showbiz-style topics, including RuPaul's Drag Race and the drama that surrounds it. However, in 2020, a movement began known as #CancelJakeYonsei, on the basis that he had repeatedly used his platform to disseminate defamatory content against competitors of the popular TV show in question. It all transpired when one drag queen by the name of the Vixen implied that a product had racist undertones, and Jake posted it onto his Instagram and asked about other people's thoughts. Is this what causes drama now? Okay. Jesus. Anyhow, this provoked the Vixen to go off on Twitter calling for Jake to be reported, subsequently inspiring other people to share their unfavorable experiences with the YouTuber. Another tweet came from a person who claimed he had been extremely Janus-faced towards him when covering a situation. This was quote tweeted by another former contestant, Shay Kool-Aid, who championed the tweet, adding a further "Cancel Jake Yonsei" hashtag onto the original post. This was not the only tweet Shay quote tweeted with this comment, and not the only tweet on this matter. It seems they were just not happy with Jake and his videos. Another contestant, Ariel Versace, also commented on the matter, having a rather heated exchange with a Jake Yonsei fan, asserting that his content is a one-sided breeding ground.
What a mess.
A load of content followed within this movement. Some of it has
Like,
been lost to time,
I
others
see.
not so much. And this deepened the divisions between the
My
two
God.
parties and became rather
This
nasty
is
for everyone
also
involved. Creepshow Art,
convoluted.
appearing to be a friend of Jake, saw her comrade in a bit of a pickle, and being the good friend that she was, decided to upload a video coming to his aid.
There is one thing that I know about me personally, is that I am a ride or die friend. I am very loyal. I will stick up for my friends through thick and thin, and there is literally nothing you can do or anyone can do to stop me from doing
To
that.
stop
I have
me.
gotten into actual fistfights
Jeez.
with people over my
What?
friends. Someone at one point tried to stab me because I was defending a friend, and I just have
Jesus.
lived a very long life where the only constant within myself is that if I love you, I will fight for you. And I don't care if the
My
person is
God.
famous, I don't care if they have a bigger platform than me, I will fight for you.
How honourable. I think a loyal friend
Oh
is
my
what we
God.
need sometimes. Though, sometimes being a good friend is acknowledging when they're wrong and not just blindly defending them. Though, I'm sure Shannon knew that, so she must have had some conviction in her defense of Jake, right? Well, she certainly did.
He also goes out of his way to ask for multiple people's sides of the story. So say there's a situation with two drag queens fighting. He would ask both drag queens their opinion and then put it in a video. Take for example his video about Trinity the Tuck Taylor and James Charles. He reached out to both of them for comment, both of them gave it, and he sat back and said, what do you guys think about that? Did he make that situation toxic? No. He simply talked about it.
Oh no. Her arguing in favor of her in Battle Buddy, talking about all the times he has supported the drag race community.
That reminds me of something. That reminds me of the whole J.K. Rowling situation. I mean, it's like showing both sides and just letting the audience decide, right? Interesting. I guess English might be special for ChatGPT. Oh my gosh.
The hatred against him was unjustified in convincing enough terms. However, the tone of the video took a turn when the conduct of the queens who had called out Jake were put under the microscope by Shannon. After debunking some rather suspect screenshots, she moves on to the more sensitive subjects.
These messages were sex from when Jake was between the ages of 15 to 17, and these were leaked as part of a paste bin where images of him when he was less than legal and not clothes were leaked as well. Basically, what I am telling you right now is what was posted was revenge porn. His sex, his nudes, revenge porn was posted by and then retweeted by Shea Coulee and Ariel Versace, two people with massive platforms. And these were posted in direct response to them calling out Jake and trying to spread #CancelJakeBeyonce.
Now, this is a very serious allegation. I understand that people can be petty, but publicizing someone's explicit content when they're a minor is rather dangerous, and certainly not anything that a public figure like Ariel should be indulging in. And after Shannon's response, many in her YouTube comments pointed out that what they did was not just inappropriate, but borderline criminal. And it was questionable whether they even deserved their platforms if this is how they were going to use them. Shannon also becomes very personal, claiming that the person who had promoted these allegations had attempted to trigger them with self-harm content. This clearly affects Shannon, and she becomes rather emotional as well.
And by the way, just fun fact, the account that is sending out his nudes is the same account that has sent me graphic images of gore and people cutting themselves in order to trigger me to cut myself, because at one point I mentioned that the person doing this is someone online who really enjoys spreading falsehoods about YouTubers and triggering them to do stuff like this, to hurt themselves. And they're spreading this kid's revenge porn. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you people.
It's a powerful moment of one friend sticking up for another, demonstrating how much she truly cares. But did she care enough to get the facts right?
Maybe. If you don't like Jake, I can understand not liking a person. If you think he's too flamboyant, too much, that's fine. You don't jive with his personality and his energy and his videos, and that is okay. You don't like that he reports on stuff that you guys do because you are famous now and you're public entities and people can do that. But what you're not going to do here is lie in order to make him look worse, especially when you have this large platform.
Podcasts have become notorious for being this source of misinformation, mainly because when you go on a podcast, you don't have a concrete plan or a concrete script backed up with concrete research. A lot of the time, it is just you reacting to the cues that you may be given, and although that obviously has its quirks, I don't think spontaneity can always excuse lazy research. And the truth is that there was still a level of organization to Shannon's content. Just because it felt somewhat impromptu doesn't mean she doesn't go into it with a clear plan of what she's actually talking about.
There's so much in this
situation. She clearly shows an awareness of the points she's making, particularly against the drag queens in promoting, quote, revenge porn. So how in relaying that information did she botch it up so miserably?
You don't think that's triggering? You don't think the act of having your naked body sent to you, that was you when you were a minor, you don't think that would hurt someone? You think that's fine. You think that's funny. They were leaked as revenge porn by someone who is hurting him, and that is sickening that you would do it. It's sick. It is gross. God damn it. And Ariel's a YouTuber. Ariel Versace on YouTube.
This is the quote tweet in question. At this time, the original tweet had been removed. However, its allegations were still accessible, and you were still able to recover the original tweet through inputting the link in archives. Now, I would rather not show the content in question because I don't think it's central to the points that I'll be making. But needless to say, although there are plenty of words I would use to describe it, revenge porn is a bit misleading if you do not have the full context, and saying images is really just false. Especially when you pair this with the idea that the language led some to believe the original tweeter was sexually exploiting Jake for something that they did as a minor. There may have been vulnerable images that were part of a paste bin, but this post was not related to that, and given she reposted the original messages, I assume she saw the tweet in question. Jake's own tweet on the paste bin matter was published before the drama, and it's unclear how related these situations even were. So let's clear this up.
Come on, let's clear it up.
The person contending these allegations in the specific comment was using the screenshots as evidence to support
I don't know
their
any of
experience
these
that Jake,
people, by
as
the
a
way.
person judging a context and in an elevated position, supposedly took advantage of them during a drag competition that they were competing in. They were both 17 at the time, and the evidence that is shown refers to a sexual conversation that they had. Now, I don't think it was necessary at all to post sex between two underage individuals. In fact, I think it was foolish as all hell. But they were clearly trying to use the evidence to prove that Jake was a bad person and the rest. If a 17-year-old did something terrible to another person, especially another minor, they wouldn't suddenly become a victim because they were a minor. And a traumatized person may be irrational in handling that sort of content. With that said, I think the allegations lack the context that is needed to even begin to assess the situation. The person advocating them is not the original person alleging them. I think the problem with the evidence is that it does not support the idea that he's taking advantage of anyone, just that there was an interaction between the two, which is definitely assuaged by the fact that the two were the same age. There's no other context or evidence, and it's very hard to do anything with the other tweets in the thread as well. I think the drag queens were exceptionally irresponsible to promote the content given their expansive audience. I understand the gay community is a bit catty, but you can't just look at something uncritically because it's about someone you don't like, especially something so strong.
Oh, well.
That's reprehensible. However, when the crime is misinformation, you should not fight fire with fire.
When in the screenshots I have of it, over 500 people saw it. Over 500 people liked it. And you're not going to clarify that that was fake? And you're not going to spread the sex and nudes of a minor in order to make yourself better? I looked up to you people. How the fuck is this okay?
There was a conflation of what was going on, and although it seems that someone may have leaked nudes, that was not to do with the tweet or the situation in question, and the tweets that the drag queens promoted did not either. And as some people in Creepshow's YouTube comments noted, if they had, this could be seen as disseminating underage nudes, which in many cases is considered illegal.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you people.
Additionally, with the context of this account isn't the actual person who's claiming the situation happened to them, this emotional...
I'm getting lost in who does
doesn't
who and who does
This
what.
Twitter user could be an awful person. That doesn't have a bearing
There's
on
so
the
many
verity of
names, so
allegations
many
if the
things that I
person is
don't
not
know.
associated with the allegations otherwise. All they've done is repost it with the attempt to draw publicity to it. These points were made by critics, and once the drag queens mentioned caught wind of it, it all kicked off. Ariel Versace in particular was
My
quite
gosh.
vocal that they had retained a lawyer, promising legal action. This, of course, provoked the nuclear response from Shannon, who basically said, "Bring it on." After all, if showing
Bring it
tweets
on.
of a public figure promoting a minor's sex is all she did, then she did nothing wrong at all. The problem is that this just wasn't the case. And the
Oh
fact that
my
she wasn't
God.
prepared to concede
You
on
know
this
all
only
of them.
heightened the drama. Both parties win the wrong. Let's make no mistake here. Because one of them is a commentator, the attention swung towards her. And it was a real shame in that sense, because you could still call the drag queens out, in my opinion, as public figures. But it had been
Incredible.
overshadowed by this other allegation and further drama that, to be honest, was not justified. Many people took Shannon's word as gospel and echoed it over the following weeks, which often caused more harm than good. And instead of working towards any sort of resolution, we were left with this mess of a situation which would have been avoided if someone had merely taken the high road. However, unlike previous situations, this one didn't die. Yes, given that these people can't keep their Twitter fingers still, it proceeded to bounce back and forth on social media, and discussion quickly became this very partisan war of words. It wasn't long until other commentators with a bit more proximity to the situation picked it up, appearing to garner this very gradual ripple effect over the following month as people seemed to observe the problems with Creepshow art.
Yes, the thread does include screenshots of a private Snapchat conversation. I don't think that was necessary. I don't think that that was necessarily a good thing to include. I don't think it was needed.
Who is
There was
this?
absolutely no nudes in there. There were none. There
Who
was
is
no
this?
child porn or revenge porn in that thread that she uses.
A few smaller creators covered the topic, some of which focused on the specific drag queen situation. However, eventually it wasn't long before her videos were viewed through a greater lens, and the incidents earlier on in the year that perhaps were viewed as inconsequential at the time were now seen as part of a bigger picture with regards to her antics. Just over a month after the initial situation, this ultimately culminated in a marginally more popular video from a YouTuber by the name of Toby, a person who I would describe as a rant YouTuber,
Who?
but also a former viewer and subscriber of Shannon, who hypothesized
Okay, who
that
is
she had
this
become
now?
more negative in the months preceding, and that this had manifested in the content that she produced.
So with this slightly
lengthy video, we'll be looking at the very talented Creepshow art and dive into why this creator with humble beginnings and a very charitable heart has, of the past 3 months, has turned into somebody who makes a 35-minute video over petty comments, who makes false accusations about somebody distributing child pornography, as well as crossing a line and going too far, not knowing when to stop and react before thinking.
This is
So
where
many
the situations
different
of the last few months come
facial
to a head.
expressions.
That her expanding influence had altered her approach
My
to creating
God.
content, and that this ultimately escalated in the drag queen shenanigans.
And so now we're brought to this tweet right here, where Lewis goes on to explain the fact
God,
that Creepshow
so
has
much drama. You said it wasn't drama, it's all drama.
Two drag queens, two very known celebrity drag queens, of spreading around child pornography falsely. And then
Oh
Shannon
my
ends
gosh.
up responding, saying, I literally said they spread sex that he sent as a minor, because they did. As those tweets are still up, literally fact check me right now.
Is what was posted was revenge porn. His sex, his nudes, revenge porn was posted by and then retweeted by Shea Coulee and Ariel Versace, two people with massive platforms. And these were posted in direct response to them calling out Jake and trying to spread hashtag cancel Jake Yonsei. Shea Coulee and Ariel Versace, two people who are successful in their fields and are massively talented. Like, they're very talented, very gifted performers who have large audience, who don't like Jake for whatever reason that they are allowed to not like Jake, decided that they were going to repost to their large audience these images, this revenge porn, to embarrass and hurt this fucking 19-year-old.
However, the video covered a variety of situations, some of which we've already discussed, and
My
others that she
gosh.
felt had struck a bit more of a personal chord, merging them together to outline what many labeled the pattern of behavior. Now, this term is typically used to strike fear into a viewer, but in this case, Shan just had a few problems that continued to surface in her content. Unless she sorted herself out, these problems weren't going to magically evaporate.
I've got a pattern of behavior. I mean, we've all do.
It allowed them to inject emotionality into situations that perhaps didn't carry the greatest consequence initially, and thus make people take more notice. The video itself was a follow-up to another video where Toby had expressed qualms with Shannon's content, but whereas the previous upload hadn't reached too many people, hundreds of thousands tuned in to see all of Creepshow's blunders under inspection, with many chiming in to say how they felt she had become a more negative force of recent. Now, I don't think that prognosis was completely fair. A lot of commentary creators typically talk about other people, especially those who may have committed misconduct, which often makes the perspective of their videos more negative. However, I think it was the fact that sometimes that negativity didn't seem validated. It was edge without purpose, and if she was going to continue to make the same mistakes, with possibly legal ramifications, then what reason was there for her existence as a creator? Well, let's dive into Toby's video and find out.
My gosh. So what now?
Remember that girl who was living out of her car?
Drama
with
channel,
little to no
everybody.
resources to make videos? Remember what you did, what you had to do?
Drama channels suck, I'm not gonna
$2
lie.
pen and a fucking sketchbook from Walmart. I don't know.
It
where
all
the
seems
hell
so
she went,
petty and
'cause all I see now is
shallow.
Somebody who does no research.
Are we going to continue to insult
Am I
them,
being
or are we going to try
snobbish?
to educate and make them understand that not vaccinating your kids is wrong? It's a wrong thing to do.
All of this
Gets
feels like
extremely
some
defensive to
petty
people who don't agree with her.
drama stuff.
It makes really petty tweets from a petty situation as her Twitter banner, like a 12-year-old would do.
Oh my god,
Toby's now
everyone's
video in particular
evil
prompted
here.
more publicity than previous uploads on the predicament. And when a video like that begins to garner traction, many creators would feel naturally compelled to address it, especially if they have a case to make for themselves, and in this instance, Shannon certainly did. Additionally, as a creator who makes videos on a highly regular basis calling people out, it felt like she couldn't really afford to ignore a video like this. If she's going to make videos on what YouTubers' fathers are doing, then she can at least
Jesus.
dedicate a quarter of an hour to a video that isn't the hardest to respond to.
Hey guys, it's Shannon, and today I'm going to be responding to a video that
And
was
they're all
made
draw.
about me by the creator named
I draw as
Toby.
well.
That's T-O-B-I.
I'll make it
Damn.
clear, Toby's video was not completely accurate in its portrayal of events and how they reflected on Shannon's behaviour. Now I'll go into the particularities of this in a moment, but when someone espouses misinformation themselves and it becomes a dominant narrative in discourse, then it's fairly natural to feel inclined to correct it. At the same time, it's also important that you're not just seen as completely ignoring possible flaws that may be present in your content. So a few days after Toby's video began to hit people's recommended page, Shannon published a 17-minute response to the original post. How would she handle it?
There is a lot of criticism given in this video, and there's a lot of things that I do in fact agree with, as well as a lot of things that I feel like were accidentally misrepresented, and I want to touch on all of it without being defensive or trying to make excuses for anything that I have done or said that isn't productive, because I want to be productive in this video. I want to take accountability where I need to take accountability, and I want to give context where context is needed.
My
So with
gosh.
that being said, let's get into everything.
I mean, tonally, it hits all the right notes. She presents herself as forthright without being overly defensive, and she does take accountability for some of her errors, such as that in the drag queen drama, which, although I wish she hadn't gone out of her way to explain why she was technically still right, is appreciated nonetheless.
I know personally it was not intentional, but that doesn't change anything. The queens
Alright.
shared the sex between Jake and another minor, which is not okay and still qualifies. However, I should have been more careful with my wording and been better about what I had said in that situation. That is completely on me.
However, she makes a decision to stand her ground on a fair few issues, which, although I may disagree with, I can also respect. We all possess different principles for what we believe is the correct approach towards content, and as long as we don't feel that attitude causes excess harm towards others, then there can generally be a degree of mutual understanding. All the same though, when standing up for oneself, it's rather important that you don't mislead your viewers, because it could be seen as you misrepresenting information to make your actions seem more reasonable. These
Yes,
could be
that's
minor
true.
details such as that relating to the Jacqueline Hill situation, where she claims that she thought that her coverage was kosher on the basis that other people were reporting on it, and the fact
I
that
see.
Jacqueline had spoken about it previously.
The reason I felt comfortable making that video is because both Jacqueline and her father are public figures who work in the public arena. Had Jacqueline's father just been an average guy who keeps a low profile and doesn't have a website dedicated to how he can heal the sick and impoverished, but because both people are in fact public entities who have already been talked about by other YouTubers, I felt comfortable in talking about it. Even Jacqueline herself had previously talked about the trip she would take to South Africa with her family as a part of his job. So for me, personally, I didn't feel like it crossed any lines, and that's why the video is still up today.
I can't
Join the
speak
page.
with absolute conviction to the verity of this claim. However, all records of comments relating back to Jacqueline Hill's father being
Red
a cult leader,
pillars.
and most comments about Jacqueline Hill's father at all stop at around March the 4th, when Shannon released her video. I struggle to find any other popular videos on the matter. In fact, many of the larger teachers...
Red pillars are like the most. They're having this beef with Destiny. It's really strange to behold.
agree with Jacqueline that the video was in poor taste, as well as feeling this served to distract from the valid criticism the beauty YouTuber was receiving at the time. On top of this, the fact that Jacqueline had mentioned her estranged father is no validation for making an entire video, unless she dedicated enough attention towards him to really justify it. He's not a prominent figure in his child's life or content, as opposed to someone like Greg Paul. Shannon also addresses the comments that she made in the video.
I talked about how he would go to impoverished parts of countries and heal the sick, and I made jokes about how wild it is that he is related to Jacqueline. I made a specific joke saying that this man's sperm was used to make Jacqueline, and that's where she gets her lying from. To me, I thought the joke was fine and an obvious joke, because obviously lying is not an inherited trait, and it's not transferable through semen. It doesn't go like that. It's just a random joke that I didn't think about, because I say things like that all of the time.
And yeah,
I
when you put it
see.
like that, it does seem kind of obvious, but it wasn't really just a one-time joke. It was a bit of a recurring theme. And to
Weird
counter your
joke.
point, these things aren't that preposterous when you consider the effects of nature and nurture and how someone's family environment may affect them. Anyhow, I have greater gripes elsewhere relating to our old friend Karuna Sartori.
Who?
In Satori's video that she made about the situation, she explained how she got very heated and felt a little guilty about getting that far into it, so she ended up doing something very reasonable when you pop off like that and DMing Shannon, giving her a very nice apology.
Oh my God.
No. That wasn't enough. I'm not exactly sure what the hell happened, but Shannon ended up just ignoring the DM altogether and then used it in her video. Now, a lot of people, including me, found this to be so unbelievably petty of Shannon to do, as well as immature and so goddamn childish.
Now, in her video, Toby didn't really portray the incident accurately, in essence stating that after a rather heated exchange, Karuna reached out to Shannon with an apology, which Shannon proceeded to ignore, yet used in her video. Although all of these individual events did occur, they omit information that makes the situation seem more one-sided than it actually was. And Shannon is fast to point this out and defend her video on Karuna as being instigated by the ASMR creator herself, who attacked her endlessly.
About a day or so later, she messaged me saying that she was sorry, and I didn't respond because, once again, I didn't know her at that point. She also misrepresented what the situation was about. Instead of saying it was her defending anti-vaxxers, it was her defending something else. I forget what it was, but she didn't say it was anti-vax. Only then, after she said that, and after she misrepresented the situation, did I respond publicly.
In this case, she is completely within her right to correct the falsities contained within Toby's upload. However, she also doesn't have the facts completely straight herself, which is somewhat surprising given it was her own public drama. In fact, there were a few faults with her own recounting. Now, with the
What is
majority of
it?
the tweets removed, it is somewhat difficult to create a completely perfect timeline, but this is the closest it's going to be. So let's go through these faults.
I did, however, get semi-annoyed when she started talking to the Rewired Soul, aka the man who straight up said I had no value to society, and talked about how terrible I was with him. But I still didn't respond or talk about it because I thought, you know what, it's fine. She doesn't like me. She doesn't need to like me. It's cool.
In her testimony, Shannon implies that Karuna engaged with the Rewired Soul to spite her. She doesn't explicitly say this, but it's the only way that such information would ever be remotely relevant. This is not the case. The Rewired Soul responded to Karuna's tweet about Creepshow art, and they discussed the topic briefly after that. Chris is one of the few people who has not deleted his tweets from around that time, so it's quite easy to follow the interactions, and it's clear that Karuna and Chris have spoken previously and have an established connection. However, there is no record of them speaking after she had apologized.
Because even after she apologized when she said that message, she was still publicly responding to the Rewired Soul, saying the same things and agreeing with him.
Shan states that Karuna had continued to give her grief after she had apologized, essentially saying that her apology didn't mean anything. This is partly true, but also lacking context. Karuna made her initial tweets on February the 19th, in response to Shan's anti-vax video, before sending a message to Shannon. She did not tweet immediately after she sent the apology, and her apology came after her conversation with the Rewired Soul. The next time she mentions Shannon is the 5th and 6th of
If
March,
the signifier gave a shout out to some drama channel,
her scum, but then responding to Dustin Daly and Ready to Glare as well. Shannon then subtweets Karuna in reference to her reply to Jacqueline, prompting a reply from Karuna, who basically says, "Say it to my face." And Creepshow accordingly does this, and the anti-vax content is brought back up. There was no real contradictory behavior from Karuna. Even if what she said was completely out of order, changing your opinion on someone as new information arises is not conflicting. The lie here that Shannon can't remember is that basically Karuna said that Shannon was insulting someone's looks, when in actuality she was more insulting the anti-vaxxers through their appearance. And obviously you can't draw that from what Karuna says. And once again, I don't think it's too much work to clarify that, but it seems that Shannon had a different route of addressing it in mind. Which brings me to my next point.
I didn't watch her content. It didn't matter to me. When I finally did talk about it, it was after days of Karuna talking about it, and it was after she responded to a subtweet asking me to call her out. I only talked about this after she misrepresented the situation and tried to make it seem like I was bullying just random people, when all I had said was anti-vaxxers look like Karen.
This is the strangest claim she makes in the video. I don't think Karuna responding to a subtweet basically telling her to say it to her face was her encouraging a video. In fact, Creepshow made an entire thread on Karuna in response to that tweet, so she clearly understood what Karuna meant. The video was just a bonus.
Okay.
Only then, after she said that, and after she misrepresented the situation, did I respond publicly. Only after she had commented on my video, publicly stated I was terrible on multiple platforms, publicly talked to the man who said I was abused and made light of it, privately took back her statements while still talking to that same man publicly about how awful I was, and then went on to publicly talk about me again, this time going so far as to lie about what happened and say that I made fun of someone for something else other than being anti-vax. That was when I responded, because she had already made what was happening public. She had already brought up the apology she made privately. She had already said everything publicly. So I thought me responding
I'm lost.
was fine.
I'm not particularly fond of what Karuna said, and it shouldn't be hard to see why. I think she did instigate part of this situation.
That is good.
She made it public first, and her framing could definitely be viewed as questionable. But Shannon's framing isn't completely fair either. This wasn't Creepshow art doing a...
See, you're watching a nice creator like Lucy Hazet.
Absolute best to avoid talking about a situation under all circumstances. This was her dunking on someone who was giving her grief. And you know what? She's in her right to do that. But you need to have the facts right, because otherwise it just sounds like you're looking for more justification than you actually have. She'd already won this war on Twitter multiple times. Using narratives surrounding someone like the Rewired Soul seems cheap and designed to frame it like Karuna was purposely trying to trigger her through abuser narratives. That's not fair on either party. If you're gonna make a video, own it. But in a way, she did. Just not the one that we're talking about.
I am not trying to say that Toby is wrong to dislike me or dislike who I have, quote, turned into or grown into. I have changed. I absolutely have changed. And I'm going to
This is also overwhelming to me.
With life.
There's one more narrative that Shannon seeks to address in her upload, and that's one raised by multiple disillusioned audience members, the one that feels she has changed. This narrative was also spawned from Toby's video, which once again focuses a little too much on the personal side, although I do understand what they're trying to say.
When I started YouTube, as you guys all know, I was homeless and I was living out of my car with my husband in Portland, Oregon. During the time I was homeless, I was working between 2 to 3 jobs depending on what year it was, and I was stressed out of my mind. I started making YouTube videos as a way to unwind and de-stress.
Is it bad of me that I'm totally lost on who is who and what relations that they have to one another? Like, this is all too much.
And something that I would do kind of as a hobby. I never expected it to become what it is now, and I never expected it to go anywhere.
Shan takes an approach to this point that may surprise some, admitting she has changed, but also saying that this is who she is now, and that she wouldn't go back to who she was.
I wanted to say that Toby is not wrong in saying that I have changed, because I have. However, when I started making my videos, I was not happy. I wasn't. There's this idea that when I made my videos beforehand, I was super happy and I was going through all of this and all this stuff. I was not in a good place, physically or mentally. And
I see.
just because I used to do something that made you guys happy, it wasn't something that fueled me the same way it fueled you. And I hope you guys can understand that. If you like my older videos, thank you. I mean it. Thank you. It means the world to me that the art I made in that time frame means a lot to you, because it means a lot to me. However, I do not and do not want to go back to the person I was when I made those videos, because I was having panic attacks every night in my car, hurting myself, and
I see.
there's so much more that I can't go back to that person.
She talks about her background, the fact that not so long ago she had very little. She was making videos out of the back of a car, and she has really worked hard to be where she is today. And you know what? I have a lot of respect for that. I'll speak about this more later, but I think anyone who's had YouTube transform their life has a justified connection to their channel, which they don't want to yield. I think it's completely valid if a
that's
person
fair,
wants to
I guess.
distance themselves from more personal topics they felt more comfortable speaking about as a smaller creator. Nonetheless, as defined as you can be, you need to be sure what side of yourself you're actually sticking up
I don't know.
Again, there's a lot of valid criticism in this video and a lot of things that I'm going to use to move forward.
I guess that's a topic that I can speak of. I don't know. Even as I grow, I don't think it would make sense for me to just distance myself as I grow. I don't think it'll... I don't know. I don't think that makes much sense. Oh. Well. I can only talk about myself. You know? I don't think it would make sense for me to just distance myself from the... You know? Oh, okay. I see. The homeless thing is a lie. I see. So yeah, if I'm the way I am right now, I don't think it would make sense for me to suddenly become more distant or different when I grow, you know? Then again, I sort of experience a little bit of like a more slow and steady growth rather than like a sudden blow up, you know? So maybe it's easier for me to just sort of like, you know, who knows? I don't need bows. This character can't even use them.
However, I want to make it very clear I am not going to go back to the content I was making beforehand.
What
I'm
was the
absolutely
content?
Not going to go back to the person I was when I started this channel. I was in an
Who?
extremely dark place. And even if you liked me better when I was going through that and making content surrounding that, that is something I simply cannot do. If only for my own mental health and my own needs.
I don't think Toby or others were asking Sharon to return to her homeless style. Although I think some would
True.
have liked to have seen that more personal
Gee.
side of her again, they're also concerned that she become too cynical and too harsh in her presentation of people's actions, that she was more preoccupied with having a video out on a daily basis than the due diligence that
Jesus.
such content required, and that she spent far too much time in the Twitter mindset of constantly engaging in pointless views. That's not a side of yourself that you want to retain if you care about improving yourself as a person, and there was just an indication that maybe Shannon hadn't expelled that slightly less well-rounded aspect of her. I have a fair few issues with Shannon's video, mainly because it is such a level-headed response that makes a fair few concessions, and therefore it makes it difficult to explain her subsequent misrepresentations. Nothing is grossly distorted, but they're all noticeable once you're familiar with the actual version of events. The strange thing is that I think if she had told the truth, it still wouldn't have been a big deal. At the end of the day, Karuna in particular made some extremely strongly worded comments towards her, and although I personally wouldn't make a response video to it, given the style of the Creepshow art channel, I don't think a response is unreasonable. However, once again, her habit of slightly bending the facts seems somewhat second nature, and given the fact that her response video was in a way like any other Creepshow art video, you could see that there were still parts of her that hadn't changed, and those with the critical eye picked it up. There was one moderately well-received 10-minute video that observed some issues with Shannon's response, but because the truth was still not particularly damning and Shannon had apologized on the points that related to her greatest shortcomings, most were inclined to accept the apology and move on. After all, there were greater enemies out there to fight, though I'm not sure everyone agreed.
Creepshow Art is her channel. The video is called H3.
Oh my
is
gosh.
Drama with Trisha Paytas for views, and it's
Now
gross.
that is a person that I know. Oh my gosh.
Right now, it ain't fake.
Trust me, I wish it was fake. Yeah, I wish it was fake. But you know what this shit I'm dealing with is like, fuck you. I wish this shit was fake.
A month later, Creepshow had her channel temporarily demonetized shortly after H3's response to an older video where she had claimed Ethan and Ela were faking drama for views. At first, some thought this was related to Ethan and Ela's video, though Ariel Versace chose to tweet at Shannon, claiming responsibility for the outcome. Fortunately, in this case, H3 stated that they spoke to YouTube and managed to reverse this decision, likely in an attempt to distance themselves from any idea that they would want to have a channel critical of them demonetized. But it showed that some people would just not over it. And should they be? Versace's comments completed this saga of drama. And although Shannon's video on the hashtag Beyonce matter had been unlisted for nearly a month at this point, showing that she wanted to move on from it.
The content was drama. Let me see. One moment. Okay, her content was drama, but she lived on her car at the time. That's what she means. Okay.
And making me ask whether this was really Versace's doing, there was still a brooding sentiment that all was not over. Shannon's video, although being a defense of her character, which I can respect, never contained the pledge to change. Sure, she apologized for her errors, but defended what many believed yielded those exact errors. And so although it was fair to give her a second chance, it constantly felt like she was walking a tightrope that threatened to plunge her back into the abyss of conflict, with possibly worse consequences.
I see.
The strange detail is that she seemed to be aware of that, and if she is conscious of that side of her, how much of that can be chalked up to impulsivity? Some believe that she was simply too blasé and dismissive of the actual consequences her words pertained. Others believe she was far too emotionally invested in the topics to think clearly. Neither of these seem particularly consistent with each other. In fact, they seem kind of contradictory. Yet they both rear their head in Shannon's video. What we know is that she wasn't going back. So, what does going forward mean? As 2020 proceeded, Creepshow went in and out of the motions of uploads and occasional arguments with any old creator who was willing to trade words with our title character. However, as the year drew to a close and Christmas seemed to approach, Shannon had some tidings to share, though I won't be the one to share them today.
Okay.
Yes, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Today I've brought a friend to help me shed light on a situation that seemed murkier than any other. So to talk about the Hopeless Peaches drama, I present my small channel drama correspondent, Sister Zio, to talk about these charades. Take it away, girl.
What? What's happening now?
The right opinion. The pineapple pizza hater he is wants me to talk about a little incident with you lucky group of people.
Oh my god.
Let me just look through my files here. Hopeless Peaches and Creepshow art. For those of you who do not know, Hopeless Peaches is a content creator within the art commentary community.
Thank you.
I know, another subgenre of commentators crawling around like the rats they are. At least this time, they can draw. And I'm pretty sure all of you know who Creepshow is by now. I personally like to call her the Nicocado Avocado of the art community. The only difference between the two is that he is playing a character. She is not. However, before we get into the real juicy parts of all of this,
Juicy.
I need to briefly supply a bit more context.
It's also dry so far.
Toby from Tro. However, after her Creepshow art video, she had started to obtain
Is
more
Hopeless
eyes
Peaches
towards
also
her.
horrible?
For better or for worse, this had led to more people digging into Toby's character and starting to find issues with her attitude and opinions towards other drama channels making videos on creators she seemingly supported.
Sick and tired of commentary channels and drama channels that severely hyper-criticize and pick apart every single
Is the
little thing
Peaches
somebody
person
does
also
online,
horrible?
even though they know themselves as fucking creators that there is shit that goes on behind closed fucking doors.
You're screaming about drama channels being hypocritical, which is a drastic overgeneralization. Most drama channels literally report what's going on in the internet world or what's happening with the public figure. What about those
Kingdom
channels
Hearts.
is so hypercritical? Of course they aren't aware of what happens behind closed doors. I completely agree. But who is to say that what's happening behind closed doors isn't problematic?
A lot of other people had also called her out for numerous amount of hypocrisies. This later turned into its own massive drama containing multiple people either defending Toby
Oh
or
my
going
God.
against her. There was a lot of more nuance in the situation despite that, where Omnia, one of Toby's detractors, had even leaked a personal story of Toby's by mistake when attempting to show DMs between Toby and themselves. Hopeless Peaches had actually taken notice of this and left a few comments disavowing these actions. This however led to YouTube commentator Prison Mate Luke to make a video explaining his frustrations with the fact that the community is still talking about Toby. He had criticized Peaches in the end for having public tangents within the situation, then leaving comments where she claimed to not want to be associated with the drama and wanted no part in it whatsoever.
And another person who commented was Hopeless Peaches, who also decided to put herself into the drama despite constantly saying how she doesn't want to be in it.
How many
and would just
people
never
are
leave
in
it
the
alone.
drama
And when
now?
people like Thummin called her out for her terrible and biased behavior, she made a community post about how she wasn't friends with Toby, which I didn't actually know she wasn't friends with Toby because she did everything in her power to defend her.
However, this was then later followed up by Luke with claims that Peaches was suicide baiting, as Peaches had left a few vague tweets alluding to her having suicidal thoughts.
Well, you say how you're going to be taking a break from the drama
Oh
and
my
comments
gosh.
and all that, which is fine. If you need a break, you need one. I'm not saying you don't have mental health problems, but you would constantly come back to post more things and beg for sympathy. And when you were getting genuine criticism for all the garbage you've done, you decided to suicide bait your audience.
Now I want to make something clear here. Luke is an idiot in more ways than one.
Who is
and I
Luke?
would apologize if I'm being too harsh, but if you have the balls to claim someone is faking suicide for attention in front of a large audience, especially without taking into consideration
I don't even
the
know who Luke
repercussions that can
is.
follow, you lose all sympathy from me. When it comes to situations like these, it's better to give
I don't
people
have
the benefit of
sympathy
the
for
doubt and
any
back
of
down
these
for a little
people.
and wait things out. Unless you're like Luke, who likes to sniff and eat glue, doubling down on these things
Who?
is never a
What?
good option. Also, Luke, the term you used wasn't even the correct one. Suicide baiter is a term that's meant for those who bait people into suicide. A month later, after the release of this video, Miss Shannon had decided to put out a tweet of her own, accusing someone of spreading lies about them, saying that Shannon was a psychotic person. Oh no, how terrible. This is what I call foreshadowing, by the way. Our best friend Luke had picked up on this, rubbed his hairy, disease-filled rat hands together and rushed over the Creepshow's DMs, and behold, it turns out Shannon's tweet was about Peaches all along. Shocking. Luke decided to take this time to turn this into a video. Now before we get into this fantastic video of Luke's, I want to play a fun game. Do you think that Luke A treated these as allegations and rumors, or B, took everything that Shannon said at face value because he's a dirty rat who does no research before clicking upload? It's
This is the video.
clearly B.
This
I mean,
is the
he
music
doesn't even
that
make
I
it
hate
hard.
everything
When he
has
opens up
often.
about Shannon's rumors, he straight up says,
Now, before Peaches or anyone else says that I'm faking these or something else stupid, I got these from the lady herself, Creepshow. So don't try and say these are fake.
oh wow man, who wouldn't trust Shannon? She's such an angel who should always be taken at face value, right? Not to mention that I personally think a lot of the
Shannon
things
is
that were
Creepshow,
said
right?
were petty to say the least. I mean, one of the issues Shannon had was that after her Jacqueline Hill video, a video that was seen as notoriously bad by the community, Peaches had decided to soft block her on Twitter.
And when Peaches got mad at Creepshow for her Jacqueline Hill video, instead of being a friend and not letting it ruin her friendship with her, she soft blocked Creepshow and started vaguely tweeting about her out of spite.
Oh no, a person doesn't like you anymore. I get that she was seen as a friend, but the fact that you left that in there just for the sake to make everything seem so much larger than it was is pretty pathetic. Now I will say, there were other portions that were important, like her claims of Peaches going around and spreading lies about her.
And not only that, Peaches decided to ruin Creepshow's reputation in the art community, telling people that
Art
Creepshow had
community.
yelled at her and was just losing it at her. Poisoning Creepshow's reputation while she was still just a small channel. She was below 100,000 subscribers when this happened.
I'm
And the
below
crazy part is that
1,000.
While this was all going on, Creepshow was in the dark and thought everything
This
was
is
okay between her and Peaches.
depressing.
I can see why someone would be upset with that, and if that were true,
This is so
I agree
depressing.
that would probably be an important thing to address. Though
Below
later down the line,
100K
you'll
is
see
a
that
small
wasn't
channel.
also black and white. After
Screw
we
you all.
uploaded the video, two notable people had decided to leave a comment, one being Shannon, thanking Luke for making the video, and the other a YouTuber known as Camilla Cuevas, a content creator in the animation and
Jesus.
Undertale community who had claimed Peaches had as well spread lies about her. Camilla had also claimed that Peaches
I'm
bullied
salty
her to
now.
the point of needing to go to the hospital. Now there were also a bunch of different people who
deserve
later
a
came
dono for
forward
going
about
for this.
Peaches, all with differing allegations, but all of them led to the same conclusion, that being Peaches was a bad friend to them. I won't be going over them in this segment, but it is important to know the existence of these videos and that they did happen because all of them led up to what is Shannon's weirdest videos to ever exist on her channel to this day. Shannon had uploaded her first video, where she had decided to go in more depth regarding her situation with Peaches, while also subtly bringing up others' personal disgruntles with Peaches as well. She had put out this image that Peaches was this huge manipulator who had a pattern of lying about other content creators with claims that held no weight.
Sure, did she purposely go out of her way to tell people that she knew I liked and admired in this community that I told her I liked and admired that I was a terrible person who deserved to be taken off the platform? Absolutely yes. Did she tell them that due to a disagreement that I had flipped out on her, which did not happen, and told people that I'm a volatile mess? Yeah, sure, but in my head, that wasn't that bad. And if that was her interpretation of me, that was fine. It wasn't until I talked to other
I
content
see.
creators who also know her, creators who had their own experiences with this same person, creators who have been lied to and about the same way, that I realized that I needed to talk about this.
It didn't end there though. Creepshow had decided to mention an old conversation she had regarding a collaboration the two of them had. Peaches had stopped interacting with her on all social media after the collaboration, which confused Shannon. Creepshow decided to then finally reach out to Peaches, to which Peaches explained that she thought Shannon was upset with her because their collaboration didn't get as many views as expected. This then later transpired into Peaches making claims that another fellow commentator, Daft Pina, had gone
Who?
to Peaches and told her that her collaboration with Creepshow ruined Shannon's channel.
Had somehow convinced herself that I was super mad at her. She was convinced that I was furious and I was holding this against her, even though we had never talked about it. And nothing happened that would make her think that. So I told her directly I wasn't mad at you. And then it turned into something else. Then she went on this spiel about how Daft Pina, yes, Daft Pina, the YouTuber, had told her that the video
Who?
had, quote, ruined my channel, and that I was probably mad at her for doing that.
This was then followed up with numerous other allegations of Peaches having a conversation
God.
with Shannon about her Jacqueline Hill video, to which she then
Jacqueline
claimed Peaches
Hill
went around
is
after
also in
telling
this?
people that Shannon yelled at her during this and framed her to be some sort of lunatic. Creepshow had felt it was also necessary to reach out to Toby, as in her
Oh
original
my God, this is
video,
too
Toby
much.
had claimed that people were too scared to confront Shannon. Creepshow wanted to make it clear with Toby that she didn't want to give off this impression that she was this scary individual who was out for blood. She had even DM'd a few other people this as well, except Peaches, because Peaches had previously mentioned to her that she wanted some space away. However, Peaches apparently reached out to Creepshow not too long long after. Peaches had abruptly gone into Shannon's DMs and told her that she wasn't happy with how she painted her as a, and I quote, bitch.
When I reached out to Toby, I let them know, like, hey, I hope you truly aren't scared of me. I hope that really isn't the case, because out of everything in that video, that was what was most important to me, is that I don't want people to think I'm this terrifying person. And because Peaches had already stated that she wanted space, I didn't reach out to her until she sent me a DM, pretty much stating that me crying in my response video by me talking about the part where, once again, she approved Toby putting this in her video, where Toby said she was scared of me and she cried because of me, that I had made her look like a bitch. She responded by telling me I made her look like a bitch, and she was going to reach out again because she saw me, quote, improving, but then decided not to, since my video was very one-sided and it was a one-sided retelling of events.
Though this video didn't incorporate much evidence towards a lot of the claims Shannon presented. However, this didn't stop people from taking things at face value, as beforehand a lot of creators did that work for Shannon. Other creators had come forward with somewhat similar claims, so Shannon had ended up feeding an already angry mob without needing to back any of her claims up. This sadly, however, was just the roadmap to what was about to be something way much worse and irrational. Shannon had decided to upload a second video a month later. This video was mainly due to a document that was made in defense of Peaches, and as well Toby coming forward and calling out Shannon. You see, Toby had felt that too many people were going after Peaches at this time for unjustified reasons, and felt that this entire situation was being blown out of proportion.
Oh my god, this is so long.
To back it up. Shannon was not happy with this.
Toby stated this: my final commentary video will be addressing stuff with Hopeless Peaches, mostly due to the fact that she's completely destroyed right now by some clout-chasing whores, and I know no commentary channel will stand up for her, even though they think the whole situation is dumb. This is another point we making a new video about how every single person in the commentary community is a giant coward, and nobody wants to stick up for anybody if they are going to get backlash of any kind, regardless of whether they think it's right or wrong. Toby is incredibly angry here that no one stood up for her when she told a victim of sexual assault that they were a bad person and she's better than them, basically. That's what this reads to me. She's still very upset about what happened to her, so that's okay. I was the only person to stand up for Peaches, and I would do it again because I know her, which is just you saying that I am biased, but go off. Also, just so it's known, Peaches had absolutely no involvement in my Creepshow art video. Pause right here. If you used her testimony, which you did, you state you did, and you state that it was supposed to be a collab, which both you and Peaches have affirmed separately, then what you did just now, in front of the world, in front of the classroom, is lie.
This was then followed up with Shannon going through a document that was made by two small creators, SpyV and Scritus. However, Shannon portrayed this document to also be made by Peaches. This just wasn't true though. SpyV had even gone on to make their own response video where they showed that all they did was interview Peaches and asked for her side.
Shannon refers to the document written by Peaches and friends and claims she doesn't believe that Peaches did not help write the document. I mean, if you really want to believe that, fine, I can't stop you, but at least be consistent and say that Peaches helped on Spoctor's video, because we did the exact same thing that he did. We asked for her side of the story, she did and gave us any relevant screenshots, and then we, in a completely separate group chat, went over all of it and compiled it into a document. Peaches was not allowed to see the document until it was completely done, and she did not edit or comment on it at all.
Peaches had no involvement with the actual making of this document and was simply asked questions for proof to back the answer she gave. Shannon then goes on to discuss the document's coverage of DMs between her and Peaches. This was in regards to the previous claim Shannon made, where she alleged that Peaches had told her that she thought she was upset because their video collaboration ruined her channel and didn't get as many views as expected.
Oh my
during
god.
This conversation, she then claims that Peaches had made previous remarks of wanting to hurt herself. Shannon was worried about this and gave Peaches her personal phone number. These DMs were
I'm getting really tired. We might have to finish this next time.
Phone number wasn't
and President's Sunday as well.
Document. Nonetheless, she then makes the assumption that because these DMs were in the document, that Peaches had shown SpyV and Scritus her personal phone number, which, by the way, Peaches didn't do that.
If The people who had these screenshots literally scrolled up, which I cannot do because once again, Peaches blocked me after she realized I had access to this conversation and she didn't want that. You would see her literally falsely accusing another YouTuber, that being What the What again, of flagging her account and causing her to be unable to make money and be unable to support herself. I would love to see this document talk about the false accusations she leveled at him, seeing as apparently they have access to the entire conversation, but I guess not. It also makes me feel entirely weird that all of these people have seen my private phone number, so that's fun. I love that.
This video was when some people started to realize Shannon's irrationalities, as this entire video was filled with assumptions and felt very exaggerated. It didn't help either that she had also claimed that Peaches was racist because she, and I quote, pissed off an angry black woman.
But literally people telling her, hey, the thing you did is bad in regards to lying about various people and situations in order to appear like an uwu victim? Yeah, that's stupid. And high-key a bit racist when we get into what you try to pull with Kai and Omnia. I mean, you have to be the white girl victim to the angry black woman and black man, right?
I would say, if anything, Shannon, you calling Omnia an angry black woman is
My
probably
God.
more racist than
Jesus.
Peaches disagreeing with Omnia over Twitter drama. After this video was uploaded and Peaches caught wind of Creepshow alleging that they doxed her,
Jesus.
Peaches decided to send Creepshow an email, very upset and rightfully so, by the way, to
Angry
which
black
Creepshow
woman.
was so cocky with this that
Jesus.
she had decided to leave a pinned comment on the video to mock Peaches about the email. Peaches made a response video a while after this. I do want to clarify that Peaches had made another response video before all of this, though
think I'm gonna
don't
die now.
entirely believe that its existence is important to this overall video surrounding Creepshow,
no.
as a lot of what was said there is said in this current response
Maybe
video,
one.
but better. Her original video response was lacking and felt like an impulse reaction rather than something that was meant to disprove allegations. In her new response video, though, it's much more structured and disproves a lot of stuff that people put out against her. Peaches had gone on to share that Camilla didn't give the full picture, and it was actually Camilla herself who was bullying Peaches for her mental well-being.
I find it very distressing how back in 2018 you continued to harass me, belittle me, lie about me, and actively go out of your way to try and ruin relationships
I don't
had
think
with
I'm gonna
other
win this
creators,
fight.
even though I tried again and again to apologize to
Fight.
you. I had no channel back then, besides a shitty dump of a channel with just AMVs and Procreate time lapses. I had no voice. To publicly berate me, then blame me when you got caught in a lie because you still didn't take down the merch as late as March. Yeah, it was distressing. You had a channel of nearly 700,000k and you were growing very fast during this time too. And you would demand apology after apology just to say it wasn't worth shit. You would send your moderators to tell me the only way you would leave me alone would be if I delete all my social media. Social media that I have to stress had no following. You would compare my actions to murder. You would allow your moderators to publicly wish I would die. And then, for you to come back 3 years later to actually make
I made
the
a
claim
mistake.
I was a liar and bullied you so much I pushed you into hospital after you went out of your way to mock my own mental health. What a horrible claim and weight to put on somebody.
Peaches had as well denied a large portion of Shannon's claims and had called her out for the lack of evidence, though this didn't stop Peaches from admitting that she did do wrong in this situation.
To Creepshow, I apologise for soft blocking you after the Jacqueline Hill video. We had our differences, but we were friends, and I shouldn't have made subtweets about the situation. I understand why that would have hurt you, and it was stupid of me to do that. I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, when it comes to Peaches and Shannon, though, they were both part of a toxic friendship. Though I don't think that excuses going in front of a
My
massive
gosh.
audience and spreading things about someone who was your friend without proof. At that point, all you're doing is spreading rumors, creepshows, which is practically ironic because Creepshow ended up doing the very thing she claimed Peaches did to her. The only difference is that she claimed Peaches went around telling other content creators. Shannon did this all publicly for the entire YouTube community to watch, and people believed almost every word she said. You see, Shannon's real art and talent don't lie with her drawings.
Oh my
Creepshow's
God.
art lies with her ability to take a situation in the direction she wants it to. But I will let our lovely host tell you more about that.
Thank you, Austin. I'll be leaving her channel in the description below. But for the moment, let's have a reflection of what people seem to observe at this point. Now, I wasn't particularly familiar with the hopeless Peaches capers that my good colleague has just documented, but I think it clearly demonstrated those lingering issues with Creepshow Art's demeanor and how that carried over into her content.
You gotta think before making these kinds of claims out of nowhere. It's a prime example of you letting emotions get the better of you and saying something you end up regretting.
Many people covering this at the time attributed the behavior to her emotional nature in these situations. This was often channeled through her voice, which regularly escalated in its frequency and amplitude when dealing with topics that she clearly found
You're
triggering.
literally out here saying that Peaches didn't participate in the garbage video you and super racist Char made, even though she edited the script, which is literally participation, but I don't.
Content that some viewed as ambient background noise, it was still designed to draw one's attention. We can all be a bit emotional and sometimes it's completely natural, but we still make the active decision whether that substance worth keeping in those uploads. Shan continuously made the active decision to upload this content with her emotional moments, and there's a point where spontaneity can only explain so much. Like any bad apology video where someone cries excessively, although it's understandable to be emotional in those situations, you still need to convey a coherent and accurate message to your audience, even if it's biased. You can't let your emotions overly miss that to the point where you're actively delivering false information about a person or a situation, especially when this drama wasn't even the biggest deal in the first place. It's hard to establish a motive for the post that caused this. There's nothing wrong with tweeting about people who have wronged you here and there. Sometimes it's good to let off a little steam, but to go out of your way to name, shame, and initiate all this backlash against a person whose worst crime was being a bit of a shitty person is questionable. People are shitty sometimes. As long as A, they aren't still a threat to others, or B, it isn't a present pattern of behavior, there has to be some perspective to their actions taken. People sit down, watch films, sympathize with anti-heroes who've done much worse than anyone online, then open Twitter and turn on whichever person has been branded a meanie. However, at the time, plenty began to believe it was a clear pattern of behavior, which caused this domino effect of people talking about negative experiences with her like they were out of the ordinary, despite the fact that we have so many interactions and conversations that some are going to be negative, especially with people who are not necessarily mentally stable. It's very easy to take a set of negative experiences and present it as the entire story when their quote, dark side is being dissected. And make no mistake, Hopeless Peaches had her reputation absolutely tarnished from this drama. As said at the start, my experience with what happened was perfunctory, but I still know that although she may have not handled it well and behaved poorly, she did not receive a hearing and was basically overrun by people who treated her like a criminal, when it's questionable whether it was even a case of public interest in the first place. This is strictly my opinion, and people can of course do whatever they want, but super serious content shouldn't be made with the purpose to solely attack others. It should be done to inform, protect, and help, even towards the subjects of our content. Sometimes we don't always manage to do that. Sometimes we have to sacrifice one of those aspects to pursue another that we view as more imperative. But if you can't answer why you peddled a public narrative other than just to go for someone who really annoyed you, I can't get behind that. Emotional moments in a video can't validate that if you're not shown the evidence to back it up. Shannon used her tone to convey how much each matter clearly meant to her. It evoked a lot of sympathy from her viewers and even benefit of the doubt from critics. The problem is that when you utilize that sort of emotion, you're going to be instigating an emotional response from your audience. And when your audience responds emotionally to misinformation that may be designed to make a person look worse than they actually are, you can cause excessive aggravation towards another person by proxy of your own misinformation. Does that mean you're solely accountable for what others do? Not at all. But if you've influenced them because you haven't been entirely honest, then you at least bear some responsibility. The fact was that even in her sentimental state, she managed to consciously omit information that would have contextualized important details. If you consider this case important at all, the rational counter-argument to this would be, well, that is what happens in a state of emotionally invoked bias. We tend to see a very one-sided perspective, and this is not entirely untrue. Nonetheless, the evidence suggests that Shannon had seen the extent of the evidence in question, and those like Just Stop seem to illustrate how she had danced around the instance that may have placed her in a quandary. The question then becomes, how irrational can one be to show bias while demonstrably being rather tactical in deciding what facets of a spectacle is beneficial to discuss at all? Something just didn't seem to quite add up in what people were concluding about Shannon's demeanor. Equally though, even if she did have a tendency to blow up trivial issues, because they were so trivial from the outset, she seldom faced any real ramifications for her shortcomings. Many involved forgot it as quickly as they waded into it, even if they had not been completely fair in their representation of the particulars, and affected parties felt the aftershock far more intensely.
I want you to know I don't think you're a bad person, but this recent video certainly is not helping you.
If anything, maybe she'd live and learn from it all. Maybe. Well, for the most part, the next few months were fairly blissful in terms of drama, at least by Shannon's standards, and her channel appeared to be in order. However, maybe it wasn't what she said on her channel that should have concerned her. I think you've all been sufficiently prepared for what we'll be talking about next.
I'm dead now.
Let's move into June 2021 and talk about one of my favorite topics, the gossip forums.
Am I?
Gossip forums, my favorite cesspool. I'm not going to play ignorant and act like I don't end up looking over them a fair bit, given that they often contain discussion about topics that interest me. However, they're also really terrible and really bitchy. It's a contained discourse that I would always steer clear from contributing to, but they have a habit of documenting some of the community's most notorious deviants. Now, there are a variety of forums that could be discussed. However, the one I'm going to focus on is a forum by the name of Lolcow Farm. A lolcow, as we've discussed before, is someone so oblivious to the nature of the internet that they can never properly deal with the sometimes rather relentless trolling that is dished out.
What a fight! Oh my god!
These individuals with a few side hustles of just chatting shit about anyone.
Okay, we didn't die.
Under the veil of anonymity, which is expected given what they often say wouldn't be the most welcome in civil society. This is all rather unexceptional information on the surface. Everyone talks shit about everyone else. How does this tie into the story of Creepshow Art? Well, there was a thread on Creepshow which had been operational since October 2020. Though that is of some interest, there's something more specific, and in June 2021, one of the admins decided that the veil of anonymity would be lifted over a certain few accounts. All of those accounts had commented on drama involving Creepshow, and many of those that she knew and was associated with. But there was one more curious
I have to admit that Illuminati is less convoluted than this person.
Operated by Shannon. How did they conclude this? Well, it comes down to the IP on these accounts. Short for Internet Protocol, it's often used by those online to identify
Nobody's here to congratulate me on that tough fight.
Most of the time, a person's IP is not public information because it can lead to revelations regarding the person's whereabouts, and we do not endorse that. However, in this case, given that they felt Shannon's behavior was careening out of hand, they decided to put a stop to it. An announcement post was made in the thread stating that although Creepshow Art's post into the forum had not been exactly subtle prior, that she crossed a line when she posted her sibling's social media to deflect criticism from her. That's pretty shady stuff for sure.
I
what's
think
it worth
so.
lifting the masquerade for? Well, it certainly is when you realize that her sibling was in the ICU, short for intensive care unit, for treatment when Shannon went into a lolcow forum and linked her Twitter. And that's barely the half of it. Amongst the rest of the post documented were various slighted comments directed towards people who many assumed were Shannon's friends, including D'Angelo Wallace, who is a callous call-out creator, Ready to Glare, who's sucking up to Shannon's clout, and Edward's Generation, who simps for terrible people.
Who
Another
is
time
this?
When she was uploading videos defending Corpse Husband from certain toxic fandoms, she was supposedly posting in a thread that attempted to dox him, ridiculing his fans, and stirring the pot in general. Obviously, if that's what she says about her friends, you can only guess what she says about her adversaries, including people like Hopeless Peaches. And in a way, it makes sense given her publicly expressed feelings on them, but it's still rather underhanded given how much animosity was already being spread during the situation. To stoke fire under an alias while acting like you're taking the high road is nothing short of villainous, especially when such content is known to mobilize viewers from that position. She posts links to people's social media with the implication that they should go on there and keep giving them shit. All that wholesome stuff.
A male. She was not trans. She had never experienced body dysmorphia or felt what it was like to be in the wrong body or dealt with any of the complex issues mentally and physically that trans people go through. None of that had happened with her. No, she was just a cis woman who was a moron.
However, it doesn't stop there, as many were quick to observe her rather flagrant use of slurs in posts to the forum, which once again is certainly not out of place for a website like that, but is rather contradictory to her often socially sensitive readings of situations and assumed advocacy for issues like body positivity. The person who called artists racist for drawing somewhat poorly executed depictions of characters has been firing off epithets fairly casually on her alt accounts. She also used it to mysteriously predict what Shannon would be doing next, often in what seemed like an attempt to hype up whatever drama she was embroiled in. She'd brag about her own friends from that third-person perspective, talk about how people may be hesitant to make videos, and how she may weaponize her clout in these scenarios. She also spoke quite harshly about herself, which one could typically chalk up to a concealed sense of self-loathing or the attempt to throw off any suspicion, but in this case, combining it with messages about her sibling, and the hypothesis would seem to indicate that she was stirring up hate towards herself, which she'd then play off during conflicts. She'd regularly enact what I call the anti-flex, which is basically a way to attack herself while still emphasizing some aspect of privilege she possessed. If you did that in your own character, you'd probably be called out for being a braggart. But it's much easier to do so when you appear to be talking about someone else. Hypothetically, this is quite the scheme, because a lot of people really don't like being harassed online. However, for those who can manage it, who don't have the conscience to care, then it becomes very easy to use that harassment as ammunition for your own case, and to deflect legitimate criticism that may be targeted at you. Other behavior is a bit hard to explain, including one where she has an argument with herself about herself after posting DMs with herself. This fictional small YouTuber is mad that Shannon was rude to her in the DMs, makes generally garbage content, and is now holding a grudge against her. This equally fictional respondent contests this and argues that Shannon behaved completely properly given this small YouTuber's demeanor, and that they were clearly attention seeking. All I'll say is that both sides may have a point. The only explanation I can provide here, though, is that it was a slow week and the exchange does make Shannon look marginally more favorable than her manufactured hater. Marginally. It's a forum on a trash talking site. There's not much at stake here. We could go through every individual post and break it down, but all I'll say is it definitely threw her credibility as a commentator into contention, but it also just made people question her credibility as a person and a friend. However, the question still remained: how much can you prove from an IP? Was there an alternative explanation for these escapades that didn't indict Shannon as the perpetrator of these posts? Well, let's hear what she had to say. On June the 5th, 2021, less than a week after the post...
Okay, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna pause it for here. I'm not sure how many people are still in the chat, but I'm actually quite tired. So we might continue this, I think, tomorrow, since tomorrow is still Diablo. And maybe we'll get more people in tomorrow, you know? 3-hour stream is not that short. Tomorrow we're gonna be finishing the videos. We're gonna be finishing President's Sunday and we're gonna be finishing this, okay? You have to finish videos. It's true. Not enough people are here today. But I am a bit tired. You know?
Every single...
Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna finish up for now. Good night. Thank you for coming. And I will see you all next time. All right? I have to prepare more stuff for tomorrow. So good night, and I'll see you.